Ahoy, landlubbers! It's me, your Captain Vasco speaking. And that was just in time for Haggis to give this up to Mr. Generic Game. Thank you for doing that, Haggis. That's very generous. I'm sure he will greatly appreciate that, and the use of our lovely emotes that I care so much about. They are, in fact, my children. I appreciate the sentiment, Demolition. I sure do hope that I don't drop frames because of, like, internet issues. It's pretty easy to complain about internet service providers in the US because they're bad. But I haven't had a ton of problems with my internet service. With my... I bought my own router because I don't trust stupid ISP equipment. But what's our current iteration of Time Warner is Spectrum now, right? It changed like 4 times since I signed up with them. But like I really haven't had very many issues with them other than like 1 or 2 like area-based outages that are like a little beyond the pale of like things to complain about. Their customer service is Satan. It's frankly the devil incarnate. One of the absolute worst experiences I've had in my life was trying to deal with their customer service. So, like, it's good that the service itself hasn't given me much trouble. However, I've had to reset my router, like, twice in the past 7 days. Which, like, isn't the worst thing in the world, but has been, like, disruptive to my work and is, like, weird. It's, like, anomalous. I don't understand. For me, the poll shows up over the hype train. There might be some way... I mean, you have 10 minutes. At this point, you probably have like 6.5 minutes or something. Yeah, anyway, I hope the internet doesn't crash, because like every week something new is broken, and I haven't figured out what it is yet. Technically, the Stream Deck not cooperating was last week's problem, so that's a carryover from last weekend. Thanks for all the resubs. We got Neko in here. Continuing Demolition's 3 months of gift sub. Thank you, Demolition. Thanks with the gift sub. Lots of people resubbing before. Thank you, thanks to everybody. Yeah, but we're here to play 999. It's already off the rails. I warned you. I think it was before I started recording. Like, I don't think I'm mentally prepared to be streaming today. I'll be honest, it's the only reason I have is that I had to like rework my schedule yesterday. And like it shouldn't be that big a deal, but man, it threw me off. Like, woof. So like I don't know where I'm at, and we're minutes into the stream and no one knows what's happening. Hello, Angel. Welcome to the stream. I respect and appreciate your lurk, and I hope you are well. And feel free to vote in polls like the one we have going on currently if you're up to it, and if you care. But yeah, so 999, one of my favorite games of all time. The first, oh no, I left my phone making the noise mode. Hold on, hey, entertain yourselves for a minute. That's not okay. That can't be happening. I don't know if the microphone picks that up, but I'm going to lose my mind. That doesn't count as the thing that's broken. We still have to figure out what it is. That's just me being an idiot. That's separate. That's a distinct issue. Stepping very carefully over the headphone cord so that the computer doesn't explode. Man, it sure hates that. I really ought to find a way to just, like, hook up a speaker to this thing so it doesn't, like, absolutely die anytime I look at it. Would be probably preferable. 999. It's great. I like it. I have no idea what chat's reaction to it is, frankly. We've made it this far. We've gone through, I listed it in the tweet going live. We've been through doors 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8. Which means that we still have to go through doors 1, 6, and 9. And yet somehow, this game with multiple endings, we've encountered one ending. In fairness, we did encounter that one ending twice, because we went through the number 3 door after already going through the submarine door. And apparently, unbeknownst to my recollection, the number 3 door create such a situation that you can only go through the number 2 door, and every time you go through the number 2 door, you get the same submarine ending. So what else did we manage to accomplish last week? Well, we continued doing puzzle solving. We did the number 3 room. We sort of went back to start again. We let's bring up the flow chart. Let's bring up that flow chart. Hit the button and it should be working. It's trying to capture some nonsense. Don't worry about the nonsense. I don't know what's happening there. So if we... Hey, look. Look, chat. I got a turtle. That didn't work. Choo-choo. That's nice. I got a turtle. You know I like turtle. Let's load. Let's resume from here.
Here too, huh?
We need the menu and the flow chart. We'll get back to where we are in a moment. So, last time, I think we started the stream continuing from the point where we went down the number 5. You know, it'd be nice, it's a quality of life thing, and this is already a pretty big improvement, quality of lifestyle over the original iteration of 999. It'd be nice if, like, one of these was just, like, the symbol of the numbered doors, so you could look at the flowchart and be like, right, 4 versus 5, or whatever. Not a huge deal, but, like, I don't know. It seems like a thing I would do if I was going to implement flowchart, but maybe that's just me. So I think this has to be continuing from, when we went back and went through the number 4 door. And then last week we went through the number 3 door, which makes everyone upset because, like, the whole point of the decision here in the story is we get to the hospital room with all the many beds, and we, like, fix the reds so that we can go through them after they're initially broken. Although we still don't actually know how that happened. And we choose between doors, like 3, 7, and 8. And we had already been through 8 the first time around. And this time we went through 7. And the whole thing here is like, oh, like Ace is going to stay behind. He takes a drug to knock himself out so he can't go in any of the puzzle rooms so that he can leave the rest to us. So that we don't have to worry about leaving him behind, even though it's like a logical fallacy to even believing that in the first place. We'll not get into it right now. But, like, the math basically works out such that, like, one team can go through door 7 and the other can go through door number 8. But if a team goes through the number 3 door, then, like, 3 people get left behind and it's stupid. But, like, if you keep insisting on it, the game will let you go through the number 3 door and you make everyone hate you, and it's a lot of fun. But because only one door gets explored, there's then only one place that you can get to after that, so the game sort of forces you to go into door number 2, and as we previously learned, that gives you the submarine ending. So once we did that, we went back to the same decision point and chose the final room of that set of 3 that we had not been through, which was the number 7 door. And we finished solving that puzzle. It involved us talking to 7 about Ice 9, which is everyone's favorite beverage. Ice 9 is something that Akane was talking to us about earlier in room number... No, in the kitchen, I think? You know, she started mentioning it in, like, room 92, 93. But she was definitely talking about it by the time we reached the, you know, the cheese wheel and the freezer bomb and all that stuff. Oh, yeah, they do be loving their numbers. There's a lot of numbers. It's a math game. It's probably not great for streaming. When I was playing this, I feel like I was keeping up with all of the various permutations of digital root math. And while I'm doing it on stream, I'm like, the game will just tell me whatever it's supposed to be. I'm not doing the math. They even give you a calculator that does the digital root math, and I still can't be bothered to do it. So, yeah, we went back to room 7. We had a conversation about Ice 9. 7 remembered something about how Lord Gordain, who bought the Gigantic, which is like a clone of the Titanic, which he thinks is the boat that we're on. He also bought that mummy thick, sexy mummy that all the NPCs be talking about. and he had some riddle about where he hid his One Piece, and was provided to us. It's something to the effect of like, in the navel under the forest of knowledge, or something like that. Yeah, so we had that conversation with him, and then we had a conversation with Clover, where we gave her a bookmark that Santa, like, forced upon us. That's right, the One Piece is the name of the treasure on the Grand Line. You are correct, Agnes. This is worth noting. And so we had a conversation with Clover where, like, previously, in a different escape room, Santa was just like, hey, stop everything you're doing and take this bookmark. It's literally killing me. And we're like, that doesn't make any sense. He's like, listen, if there's 4 things I hate more than anything, it's faith, hope, luck, and love, which is like the most staggeringly insane thing I think someone can say without context. And he insists that the 4-leaf clover depicted on this bookmark he randomly found stands for all of those things, so he hates it with all of his emotions. And he gave it to us, and so we're with Clover alone in the surgery room where we had just finished doing escape room style puzzles. And we give her the bookmark, and we explain those things to her, and she has a really confused reaction. She's not sure how we know what that means, which is interesting. I don't know that we know what it means for her not to know what that means. I know that she knows that I know that she knows. But not long after that, we reached the end of our stream and have not yet found a second ending. And I'm pretty sure there's 0% chance that we get to the end of this stream without getting at least one ending. I suspect 2. It will help that process if I stop talking and start playing the game, though. So let's go back to where we saved, which is right on the other side of the number 7 room. Everybody ready? Everybody understand where we're at? Ish, relatively speaking? Good, great, awesome. Commence of the game move.
Every door in this place is locked up tight.
How about that one?
Everyone take a sip. Many footsteps at once. Uchikoshi special.
May as well give it a try.
Jumpy!
Huh? June?
Now, obviously at this point, we're meeting up with the team that went through door 8. And everyone is super surprised that we're meeting up again. And at this point in the story, having replayed it, there's absolutely no shock value left to this revelation, but it's still in here because the game doesn't know which path you're taking when. But as I've discussed pretty much at length at this point, I never really understood why this was so shocking to everybody. Yes, Haggis. I don't know how much you've been in or out of the stream for, but Jumpy is Akane's nickname for our character, the central character, Junpei. It's not a literal pronunciation of the name.
And Santa. And Lotus, too.
It's just close enough to be cute, I guess.
Whoa! What the hell is this?
What are you doing here?
What? But we didn't...
Hey guys! Could you come take a look at this? Look on the wall here.
Fridays are early bed night. No worries, Haggis. If you ever want to catch up, everything is on YouTube so far. God help us all.
A map of the ship's interior?
It says C deck. So it's the map for this floor then?
Door 7. And... Door 8. Yep, they both eventually end up at this hallway.
Yeah, isn't that what I said? We aren't going to be split up permanently till we find door 9. We might get separated for a little while, but we'll see each other again. Otherwise, we won't be able to open door 9. And that's how the nonary game works.
I see. Wait a sec. Hey, could this lead to...
Oh.
You've got to be kidding me.
We may as well go. Yeah.
No, I think instead of going back to the hospital room and experiencing disappointment, I think we could just stand here and wait to die. I think that's like an equally valid option.
Oh, almost forgot. We should keep this.
Ready?
I don't need that map.
Gonna open it.
Everyone mentally prepare yourselves for a door to be open. I know it can be a traumatic experience.
I knew it.
Although in the case of the number 3 door, it is
I don't need a map to
absolutely
get to Bone Town.
is absolutely a traumatic experience. You should let people know if you're going to open the number 3 door.
Back.
Thank you for that, Ditto. Ditto, is it standard practice to just lie and wait for the best chance for a sound effect? I respect it. I'm not criticizing. I think you did the same thing last week. It's the only reason I mentioned it. I hope you're doing well.
In the hospital room.
Everyone's favorite room. Hey, chat, if you had to pick a favorite room in this game, what room is it, and why isn't it hospital room? Because I feel like it should be.
I see. I believe I understand what you're saying. The 6 of you split into 2 teams and went through doors 7 and 8.
This implied that at some point he woke up and now we're doing exposition in case you weren't here previously. So everybody who hasn't been here for the last stream, thank Ace for this.
You solved the puzzles in the operating room and the laboratory, and then met one another in the hallway after opening your respective locked doors. At any rate, I feel a bit silly for my little show of altruism.
I like to think that he glossed over it, but because we had to wait for him to wake up anyway, we also like choreographed a dance routine, and we're gonna do like a flash mob later and really freak him out.
I know I said I was sure you'd come back for me. I didn't think it would happen so soon, though.
Well, we saw each other again and we ain't dead, so I say that's good enough. Anyway, I say we get out of this creepy old place.
Yeah, not being dead's pretty decent.
We
That's an
found the
okay
key.
outcome. I think that's the voice actor for Batu from Ghost in the Shell. I gotta be honest, it's been a long time since I saw... I'm not sure if I actually saw the Ghost in the Shell movie. I remember watching some of the, like, dub of the spin-off sequel anime that came from it. I don't know that I could identify the character. I found that show interesting to watch and incredibly difficult to follow. Last couple of times it's been rather conveniently timed, but today you were lurking. Either way is fair. I respect it nonetheless. Like I said, his favorite room is kitchen. She does love to cook, and kitchen has a limitless supply of cheese wheels and expired cans of milk. Well, it's really more of having 2... I think it was like 2 enormous barrels of spoiled milk, rather than like infinite, like individual containers.
The key?
Ain't that what I just said? I'm talking about the Jupiter key. We found it in the operating room. Right, Junpei?
Yeah.
Oh, the solar system keys.
I'm gonna mention just briefly, so I've said it a few times now, but the original 999 didn't have a flowchart at all, and so you would literally just replay the entire game. It had a special mode to like toggle, like skip through dialogue you'd heard before, but by the nature of streaming, I think it is helpful to occasionally listen to some of these things that lead up to big decisions. There is something in the menu. Bring this up. Not really. Wait, does this do it? Yeah, I can toggle to auto. So at some point we might execute that, now that I figured out how to access that. I was previously trying to, like, click on this to change the symbol, because I feel like I've played a game where that works that way, but, it's not this. But, yeah, we've been through this dialogue because, it's more or less the same as, when we went through the number 8 door previously. We did get different dialogue going through the number 3 door, because you pretty much just, like, hey, we got one key, it goes to the number 2 door, we should go to
Actually,
it.
we found one in the laboratory, too. Here, the Earth key. I might lose it. It's probably better if you hold on to it. That way it won't be my fault if it gets lost.
Yeah.
Now we have 3 keys that we haven't used yet.
Yeah. The Jupiter key that we found in the operating room. The Saturn key card we found in the kitchen. And the Earth key Lotus just gave me.
The
That's a weird
Jupiter
line
key
read.
is supposed to be for
He
the
just
door
gave
at the end
me.
of that long straight hallway, right?
Yeah. If the map's right, then it connects to the central staircase. Then, next to the stairs...
Wait! What about door 3?
Look, you saw the map, right? It's the same as 7 and 8. It just lead us back to the big hospital room.
Yeah, but just hypothetically, hear me out. What if behind door 3 was a whole dead person that we were looking for and unable to find? How would you feel about that scenario?
There's no point to seeing what's on the other side of that door.
There is a point. At least there is for me.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Snake might be on the other side of door 3.
Very well. I'll be coming with you then. I've had a nice long rest. I think it's time I was up and about again. So, Seven, you'll help me, won't you?
Huh? Damn. Well, I guess that's how it's gotta be. So I'm going with you, huh?
Yes, you are.
All right, let's get moving.
Almost sounds like a threat. Beep, beep, beep. Numbers
we're
and
heading out.
levers and things.
Be careful.
Whoa. Didn't think I'd be hearing that from you, Lotus.
Don't let it go to your head. I'd be in trouble if the 3 of you bought it. The rest of us can't open the 9 door.
Ah, the truth comes out.
Alright, have fun storing the
Okay.
castle, you 3.
All right, we should get moving too.
Okay, so I think the next step is for us to, while they're in that room, use the keys that are available to us to, like, discover the 3 doors to make the next decision. Since it's mostly a process of us walking around and naming planets and looking at doors, let's try auto dialogue for a bit, and just let's see what the execution of that in the non-RE games is like and whether it's gonna give us a headache. And you know what, just for good measure, just in case this somehow ends up stupid... No, wait, not this one. Save system is a little weird. You have to click, and then click to a new file. Okay. Turn to title screen, no. It is a thrilling sequence, I agree, Castle, but we have seen it twice.
Get moving.
Where are we going?
Ah.
Well, it would be a
So
waste
it's
of time
different,
to just sit
huh?
around, wouldn't it? Let me explain.
Oh, I get it. We're gonna see if we can get anywhere interesting with the Jupiter key.
Yes. If we're lucky, we might find Snake.
So this auto
And
has
here's the Jupiter
the
symbol on
dialogue
the
being
keyhole.
read as though there was a short pause after each line, and then, like, it
All right,
hits
Junpei,
enter.
open it if you please.
Yeah.
Accidentally toggled it back to stop. Or it's new dialogue. It might technically be new dialogue.
Great, back to the beginning. You sure this is a good idea?
What do you mean?
Well, we already searched every inch of this room, didn't we? I'm asking you if there's any reason we came back here.
Which one? Between 6 and 1? I believe it was 6. Yes, it was indeed 6. By a pretty large margin, in fact. I'd be curious at some point to know if there's a particular reason why so many people voted for that, but it could just be the fact that everyone heard my tantrum last week and decided not to tie the poll. I respect that as well.
You know, that's a good question.
At this point, anytime a dialogue box comes up and it has new dialogue, I'm just typically clicking that.
I can't believe this. You guys followed me here, but you don't even know why?
I mean, does that really surprise you? Do we seem like a bunch of competent people after everything you've seen us do? Look.
Junpei, you've got the solar system keys, don't you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. The Saturn key card. And the Earth key.
What about him?
Don't you remember the elevator? On C deck, where we are now. There was a big elevator behind the stairs, remember? And next to the elevator, there was a card reader with the Saturn symbol on it. And on A deck, on the door to the left, there was a keyhole with the Earth symbol on it, I think. So the 2 keys that Jumpy has?
Should let us use the elevator and the door on A deck. Huh.
Yes, that's right.
All right, I got it. Let's get started then. What do you say we split into 2 teams? Lotus and I will search the Earth one, so you 2 can search Saturn, all right?
Sounds good. Then you guys should take this key. We have no idea what's on the other side of these. So don't go too far. Just search for 10 minutes and come back.
There's a card reader next to the left elevator.
Then let's try out the Saturn key card. Great! It looks like it's working now.
All right, now how do I call the elevator? Oh, it only has the upside down triangle on it.
No, it has a green circle and no triangle.
I guess there's no up button. Well, we may as well try pushing this one.
Nico says the cheap picked door 6 because it had more characters, and one also includes Clover, who she dislikes a bit. That's fair.
It opened. Look, Jumpy.
Sweet, it opened. Let's get.
Wait.
You picked 6 because it was your 6-month anniversary. Also fair. Now, this isn't deserving of a poll, but chat, we're about to be posed with. We could get some new dialogue and have a sensible conversation here. Or we could have a very long, ridiculous conversation here that we've heard before, but you might not have been around for. I don't know.
What?
I'm not really, I just, oh gosh.
June was probably afraid of. Now, at least some of you were here because we've checked these doors before. We have hit the third split decision to figure out which door to go to, which means we've checked out all the doors that we have keys to. It's an Ushikoshi game. Every conversation is long and absurd. That's probably fair to say, but I think you could make the distinction that, like, some are more weighted towards simply long and some are more weighted towards absurd. It's only one sensible answer. Yeah, everyone's right. I think, we could be concerned about the fact that we can only go down, and that sounds like it could lead to a ridiculous conversation, but frankly, you're gonna get a much weirder result by being locked up alone with a boy. I mean, that's my concern with elevators also.
Well, we will be all alone in here.
He says, Jumpy, do you think love can bloom even on a battlefield? I actually know someone who has that as a, audio alert redemption for channel points on their channel. And they're the person that I found out about Trigger Fire from to get that set up on my channel. Of course, with different, video game samples.
Jumpy?
Huh? Oh, nothing. It's not important. Come on, let's go.
I said wait a minute.
Why?
Aren't you afraid, Jumpy?
Afraid of what?
Well, I've never...
It almost feels like at a certain point she's doing this on purpose. And if you haven't seen this, just wait. You'll understand what that means in a minute.
It's your first time?
I might get wet.
What?
Down there. I'd get soaking wet.
Well, I mean, of course you would. That's the way it works. I mean, I've never heard of anyone getting soaking wet somewhere else.
Clearly, you've never been to Singapore.
That's true. You don't mind?
Mind what?
Getting wet.
Well, I don't know. I think I'd probably, like it.
Gosh, Jumpy, you're so brave.
Suspicious, Neko. What about this conversation seems suspicious? The fact that no one could possibly have this kind of misunderstanding unintentionally?
Really? I mean, I kind of think any guy would do the same thing, What happens, happens, right? I mean, if you get the chance, you've just got to go for it. That's what a man is supposed to do, I guess.
Trying to figure out how much he's supposed to say, and, what's the loud part and what's the quiet part.
You're so cool, Jumpy. I really admire you.
That doesn't really seem like the sort of thing you ought to admire someone for.
Even I think that's sketchy, and I just said it.
I'm really scared.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you've never done it before.
Yes, so I don't think I'll be able to last very long. And then it'll be over.
Over?
Yes, I'll go to heaven.
Heaven?
It feels kind of like you're floating in space, and your mind gets all fuzzy, like when you pass out. At least that's what I've heard from people who have experienced it.
I was not kidding, Haggis. It is indeed both a long and an absurd conversation that really doesn't feel like it could possibly happen by accident. It's like the most Somnium Files dialogue in the entire game, and, it's up to interpretation as to whether or not it works. I feel like the fact that, you don't spend 60% of the game dealing with innuendo helps soften the blow to some extent. But, like, also, I think it goes on for long enough that it comes back around at a certain point.
To Bonetown.
It's true. I don't believe that Junpei does need a map to get to Bonetown. He does need a map to figure out where the 7 and 8 doors lead, though. But that's different.
Yes, I've heard that too. Although I don't think the same thing happens to guys.
What?
Huh?
But it would happen to men too, wouldn't it? It would happen to anyone.
Nah, it's kind of like the Dark Crystal. You know how, like, in the Dark Crystal, like, towards the end, the like, love interest, like, suddenly flies over and saves the lead character from danger? And he's like, wait, how do you have wings? And she's like, all women have wings, duh. I think it's like that.
Once it gets into your body, the same thing happens to everyone.
Well, I mean, usually it doesn't go inside the man. I mean, generally.
Yes, it does. Well, eventually it will. It's not like you really have a choice. Your body will force you to swallow some of it. Eventually.
See, this is why it's, like, really important to have, like, health class. Because, like, you know, these misconceptions, they lead to some problems, you know?
What are you trying to do to me?
Nothing. I'm not going to do anything to you. I'm just saying that that's what happens. It's a psychological reaction to what you're experiencing.
Oh, is that so?
I know most men probably have larger lungs, but even then, I don't think you could hold your breath for 20 or even 10 minutes. Eventually, you'd have to breathe, and then the water would get into your lungs. Once that happens, your body won't be able to get oxygen anymore, and you'll start to feel that floaty feeling as you pass out.
It does sort of just seem like you'd say that you would die or something. Yeah, Haggis, what did you think that June was talking about here? She's been talking about drowning the entire time.
Oh.
Well, she does mean the elevator, Haggis. So, the situation that we find ourselves in, it's a long laugh, is, you know, we were sort of kidnapped and awoke on this ship with little idea of exactly how we got here or why we were here. And then Zero introduces himself over the loudspeaker, and he's like, hey, so you might have noticed that we're on a sinking ship, and you only have 9 hours before it sinks and everyone dies. The only way out is to get to the number 9 door and go through it. And so, like, we already know that the lower decks of the ship have been flooded. And she's basically saying that, like, we don't know what happens if you take the elevator down there. If that floor is flooded and you take an elevator down there, there's a good chance you die.
Yeah, you're right. You wouldn't last very long.
See?
Come to think of it, the lower floor, D-deck, is completely underwater. An elevator heading to a submerged floor. That is pretty scary. Hey, wait a minute. This elevator came up from somewhere under us, right?
Well, yes, I guess it did. It didn't open right away after you pressed the button.
The other thing I find funny about this is that, you know, before they split up, he's like, alright, nobody do anything outrageous. Spend like 10 minutes finding whatever's on the other side of these locked doors, and then come back. And we've clearly already spent like 8 minutes having this conversation.
There was a motor noise, like it was moving, and then it opened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So, take a look inside. It's not wet at all, is it? The walls and even the floor are totally dry.
Oh, you're right. They are.
Well, let's test it.
Test it?
Yeah, watch this. Now, I'll just put one foot inside the elevator and look over at the buttons. Oh, there's only 2, E and C. All right, I'll push E.
Okay, elevator, I love you, bye-bye.
I think I can hear it opening on E-deck.
Okay, that's done. Now I'll just press the button again.
If you can hear the door open on that floor, I feel like you would hear it if it flooded. Probably?
Yep,
Noodle News.
not a
Rasputin is
single
climbing
drop of
his
water to
branch.
be seen.
Very good, Nego. Keep us apprised of any important details.
See?
What does that mean? How can E deck be safe if the D deck is full of water?
Oh, we get that fun drawing again.
Well, here's what I think. The elevator shaft and E-deck must be watertight and separated from wherever the ship's been punctured. Here, let me show you.
What could be clearer than this?
So is that why the ship hasn't sunk?
Like, I completely understand the concept here, but I feel like this illustration does almost nothing to illustrate any better than just him saying it out loud. This isn't how boat looks. It just doesn't feel like it clarifies anything.
The shape of the inside keeps it all from filling with water?
Yeah, I think that's what's going on. So I'm gonna go down and check it out. You stay here, all right?
But...
Come on, just do it, all right?
But what if he gets wet down there?
I'm coming with you!
Huh? Hey, wait! Oh, crap. It closed.
I can't just let you go alone, you know.
Ah, jeez. It looks normal. Oh, knock it off. It's just like I thought. This part hasn't flooded. Come on, just look around. There's no water here.
Look around you.
You're right. It's not flooded at all.
See?
But there's a whole lot of water.
I'd also like to point out, they say that there's only 2 buttons. There's clearly several buttons. Or no buttons, if you just, like, interpret this as being like a nameplate that says what all the floors are. But there's definitely not exactly 2 buttons.
Yeah, right on top of us.
What's gonna happen if the ceiling breaks?
Well, we'd probably get really wet up there.
Nah, see what he did?
Huh?
At any rate, we should probably go back as soon as we can, once we're done looking around down here. Lotus and Santa might already be back.
Okay, good idea.
Now then.
We spend an awful lot of time talking about getting wet down here.
Iron bars. Well, we can't go over there.
Right.
Then maybe...
Well... It looks like there's a long straight hallway down this way.
Hey, it's our door.
Something's written on the door at the end. Wait, is that...
Let's check.
I knew it!
This is a numbered door. But we can't do anything with only the 2 of us.
We better head back and let everyone know.
Yes.
Wait, what's this? Is this the map for E-Deck? I should take it with me.
I don't need that map.
Huh, so you guys found door 1. So now we've located 2 new doors. The 6 door and the 1 door.
You know, it is interesting that E-Deck wasn't flooded.
Well, we don't really know if all of E-Deck is safe. We only checked the area around the elevator.
Even so, it's still very interesting.
How upsetting would it be, you know, you go to all this trouble, you get the keys to unlock these doors, you go down to deck E, you find the numbered 6 door, and you're like, well, this will help us navigate our way to the end of this deadly game scenario. So we better go through the number 6 door. And so you authenticate, and you open the door, and it's just flooded in there. It's just water, and it, like, drowns you immediately. I mean, it would be a heck of an oversight, but, like, wouldn't that be just the worst?
You said the 6th door was there, right?
Yes.
Then that means Zero planned all this out. Even the sinking. That would have meant some pretty serious remodeling of the ship's interior.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
Yeah. I wonder how long it took. I can't even imagine how much it must have cost.
It would have been a ton, that's for sure.
Well, that does go along with what Ace was saying. The most reasonable explanation would be that this was done by some organization with access to a whole lot of cash.
Yes, it does make sense.
You don't think that this was just, like, one carpenter with, like, way too much time on his hands? Like some guy who does, like, a YouTube series on, like, how to build a shed from scratch or something?
Yeah?
I don't think it's a very good idea to stay here.
Yeah, you're right. Ace and his team might be back already.
Well, Junpei and I should be able to open door 1.
Huh? You guys leaving me behind?
Just kidding. All right, let's go.
Never kidding. Always sacrifice.
Hey! hell did you guys go?
That's a good one. Nego has a new theory. Considering the children 7 found previously were in a boat that was just like this one. The trauma of escaping this game causes Santa to have a crisis, stressy, and move to the North Pole. Then give gifts to the children to compensate for that suffering, to prevent kids from feeling that same thing. It's got to be just as good as any other theory, right? I mean, I started this around Halloween because of its horror elements, but what you didn't know is that if it lasts until December, it doubles as a prequel to Christmas itself, and then the next game is like all up in the North Pole.
7? What's wrong? What happened?
What the hell kind of question is that? Snake is...
What is Halloween if not the prequel for Christmas? Interesting.
He died, just as the 9th man did.
Oh yeah, by the way, for those of you actually following along with it's much more difficult to skip dialogue in this game. It's something here's another minor gripe I have with this. They're in the main menu. I believe there's a setting for an additional level of dialogue skipping that I feel like I should just be able to toggle here, but I cannot. It might just toggle this same too. But like in the original, it would just like blast through dialogue if you had already seen it before, because again, there's no flowchart. You would just play the game start to finish, which I think is a big element for why a lot of the puzzles within the escape rooms are relatively simple in this game. So like if it's like a separate toggle and it's like the super fast mode that I'm familiar with from this game, I don't know why it has an additional level of lock from the main menu. And I also don't know why I can't access the main menu from here without saving the game and quitting all the way to start. Again, it might just be this same toggle, like, implemented differently, in which case my gripes would be slightly different, but it seems like a weird way to do that to me. But, yeah, Snake is dead. Snake died. They went in the tree room, and, hypothetically, he's dead in there.
Oh my god. That's not true, is it?
Like I said, she thought I was going to say that there was a toggle for, like, more dialogue. Dialogue plus.
We should make sure.
Yeah, right. We should.
Wait, not that way.
What? Why not?
I stuck a screwdriver in there to keep the door from closing all the way. It's not locked, so you can go in that way.
Where is...
The shower room. Left side of the hallway. I put a broom in there, too, to keep the door open.
That means we can get in without going through the numbered door,
Put
right?
a broom in there, too, just in case anyone makes a mess. We don't want to leave this place any worse off than when we found it.
That's right.
Then let's go. This wasn't open when we passed here before. Well, let's keep going.
Necessary thing to
Oh,
say.
it smells horrible.
Ugh, yeah, this is pretty awful. I feel like I'm gonna puke.
Where is he? Where's Snake? There. June, you should stay here.
But
Please, just do me a favor, okay? I'm going...
Just like Ace said.
We're led to believe that was a man's head.
Just like the 9th man.
And also like the whole rest of his body, including his intestines that had a bomb in it.
Detonator in his bracelet set off the bomb in his gut.
Oh god. The bone is coming out of his left arm.
It's definitely an open fracture.
Just a weird detail to focus
Oh,
on.
the face. It's horrible.
Now why are you just criticizing me, Lotus? There's already a traumatic thing happening. You don't have to make it worse by being mean.
Yeah, you can't even tell who it is.
But the clothes are...
No mistake about it. It's Snake.
Maybe it was a giant watermelon. Maybe Zero has been Gallagher all along. Did anyone consider that? Famed 80s comedian who just smashed watermelons with a hammer for some reason?
Snake was probably murdered. Chances are he was killed the same way the Ninth Man was. It's pretty straightforward. Not that hard to figure out how they did it.
Demolition says that'd be an amazing twist. I think on some level, that's one of the reasons why I like Eternal Sonata so much. Just the notion of like a fantasy world intersecting with something so relatively mundane is just like always funny to me. I don't know if I've joked about it on stream. I feel like I talked about it in like old Renegade Constabulary videos, but like I've always really wanted like some like fantasy RPG or something. You know, oh, let's, you know, there's Xanarkand and you know, the Albed and all this, and then like I just want there to be some pit stop that's like, and then we'll pass through Ohio, and it's like literally just like modern day Ohio with like no fantasy elements, but like everyone there just acts like it's normal for them to be surrounded by like an enchanted forest and whatever. Like that's really funny to me. So like, yeah, the idea that like it's this like weird horror thriller game where like, who's the killer? Who's the person who brought us here and made us play this insane game with bombs in our stomachs and whatever? And it's just Gallagher. Just like a weird 80s comedian whose primary shtick is he smashes watermelons with a hammer, from what I understand. Final Fantasy 15, but good. Does Final Fantasy 15 intersect some part of the real world? I mean, it's just kind of like a fantasy world that has modern technology in it, isn't it? But I would accept the world where Final Fantasy was good instead of Final Fantasy 15. That game was not, in my opinion, good. I know it's a little bit of a hot take. I feel like after some distance from the game, a lot of people came around to like, actually this game isn't very good, but it like still has like diehard fans.
First, the killers got Snake to authenticate on the red to open door 3.
Either that, or maybe it was the Killers, the band, that we talk a lot about on this channel for some reason. You know, maybe they were responsible for Snake's death. And it wasn't like lowercase k killers, it was uppercase K killers.
And they shoved him into it, and waited 9 seconds for the door to shut. Once that door shut, it was all over for Snake. But he didn't give up. He probably knew it wouldn't do him any good, but he probably ran into the shower room looking for the dead. It was a small chance, but it wasn't like he had anything to lose. Unfortunately, it didn't work.
I've always liked this one image from this game, because for some reason, even though it's definitely in the same art style as the rest of the game, the facial features make him look like... Who's the guy from Zatch Bell who's partnered with the duck? Like the duck human? It's like Falgore, the like Italian pop singer. This really, for some reason, to me, looks like Falgore trying to like activate the dead.
The detonator is only deactivated if everybody who authenticated when they went in uses the dead.
Yeah, the duck human. What is that guy called? Like, so like Zatch Bell is like this quasi-Pokemon-esque world, but instead of like monsters that don't talk, like they're these like demons that look like children and have superpowers that can only be activated through a spell book that like a spiritually resonant person has to enable. And like one of the people who like meets with one of these weird children is Falgore, who's like a Italian pop singer who's just awful. He's just terrible. And he's partnered with Conchome, who's like he basically looks like a child in a onesie, but has like a duck bill on his face. And like one of his abilities is to just become enormous. They're just a really upsetting pair, frankly.
Snake was the only one who went through the door. And then, 81 seconds after he was shut, that happened.
I see. So that's what you meant by killer. You need at least 3 people to open one of the numbered doors, including Snake. It wouldn't open for Snake and a single killer.
Yeah. That means we're looking at multiple perps here.
Well, just in case, I want to make sure. Let's say you're right. When do you think Snake was killed?
When we all split up to look for the parts for the Reds, I think. Right after that was when we noticed he was gone.
It's basically the only time that could have happened.
That means none of us have alibis. We were all off searching the rooms we'd been assigned, looking for those parts.
Because up until that point where everyone split up, we were all, like, he would have been with some group of people and accounted for. It's only when we split up that he would have been alone and someone would have been able to attack him.
Yeah, that means anybody could be a killer.
Ditto says, speaking of Zatch Bell, which is my favorite way to... Listen, you will always get my attention by being like, speaking of some obscure thing that you and 6 other people on Earth are interested in. Speaking of Zatch Bell, I gave one of my players in Pathfinder basically a Zatch Bell-style magic recipe book, where over time she'll be able to read parts of the book and create magical nonsense. I love it, Ditto. I know you, like, a few weeks back you were concerned about how that campaign would go. It sounds like it's going great.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about? How can you say that so casually? You're implying that one of us is a killer.
Actually, we've been over this, 2 of us.
Not just one of us. If I'm right, then at least 2 of us are murderers.
Why don't you calm down a bit, Seven? What are you going to gain by being so suspicious? That's what Zero wants, you know?
What? Zero?
Exactly. This game was set up by Zero, wasn't it? Any game has a winner and loser. Whoever makes it through door 9 is a winner. And those who don't are the losers. Zero is trying to make us fight against one another for that victory.
Then you're saying that Zero is trying to split us up by making us fight each other?
Yes, that is why we can't let ourselves fall prey to suspicion. We have to trust one another and form a strong bond of friendship. Otherwise, we'll end up ensnared by Zero's manipulations.
I think Ace might watch too much anime.
Then does that mean that the person who killed Snake...
Yes, almost certainly Zero himself.
But then, like, doesn't that also imply that Zero has a partner who probably knows or suspects that they're Zero, but is also complicit in that murder? Like, that's weird.
If there's anyone we should doubt, it should be Zero. He masterminded this game and kidnapped all of us. Doesn't it seem reasonable that he would have killed Snake as well?
I mean, in fairness, some of us are adults, and thus they were probably adult-napped.
Good question. If Zero killed Snake, then Zero is on the ship with us.
Zero's still on the ship with them? I think the shorter version is to just say yes.
But I don't... Where could Zero be hiding?
Check your pockets. Everyone check your pockets.
I think Zero is one of us.
Dramatic noise and heartbeat. Santa didn't look upset so much as bored. Everyone else looked at least a little bit distressed. Santa was kind of like, huh, there's something on my shoe. Was he one of them? I mean, could be. At some point we talked about how this whole game is automated. Although, frankly, that might come after this conversation because of the way actual causality works.
Well, that's possible.
Huh?
Like Clover said, Zero might be one of us.
What are you saying, Jumpy? Didn't you hear what Ace said?
Exactly. I said we shouldn't suspect one another for no reason.
But what if we have
No
reason?
reason. I've got a great reason.
And what's that?
The bracelets. Why are the bombs in our bodies connected to the bracelets? You're all thinking Zero's hiding somewhere watching us, right? If he's doing that, then he could just detonate the bombs by remote control if someone did something they weren't supposed to. It would be a lot more precise and a lot easier. But if that's the case, then why is the bomb set off by the detonator in the bracelet?
You got a point.
Okay, here's my theory. The reason is because Zero accidentally got a surplus of, like, fashionable bracelet bomb detonators. He was working on something else, maybe like another deadly game, maybe he's Jigsaw and he just does this all the time. And he just had some extras left over and he's like, well, I mean, I could design a whole new game system, but instead of, like, ordering 10, I ordered 10,000. I got a lot of these bracelets to get rid of. I might as well incorporate them into this game, too. It'll save me at least a little bit of trouble and offset the expense somewhat.
I'm not done. Try applying the same ideas to the Nonary game. All of the puzzles here run all by themselves. In other words, Zero doesn't have to be controlling them for the game to move forward. Why's that? Why would Zero bother to do something like that?
So let's say you and Clover are right. Zero's one of us. If that's the case, then it'd be really hard for him to keep track of all of us or control anything remotely. That's why all the puzzles run by themselves. That's what you're getting at, right?
You hit the closing sale at Just Bracelets. Yeah, man, like a lot of businesses got hit really hard by the pandemic. I'm sure that someone somewhere was running like a bespoke detonator bracelet business, and, you know, when they're liquidating, you get a good deal.
Yeah. Seven, when we were talking earlier, you said any one of us could be Snake's killer.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, then. I've got a question for you, Ace. You said something like Zero must be the one who killed Snake, right?
Yes, something like that. I can't think of any other explanation.
I don't know. I feel like Nego's been making a pretty compelling argument that, you know, because of his disability, Snake sort of fumbled a jar of jam when he was making a sandwich in the shower room. I mean, when you don't have access to donuts to eat in the bathroom, the next best thing is to make a jam sandwich, right? It's like a jelly donut, except like a lot worse.
So what do we get if we combine those? They fit together pretty well, I think. Something like this. Whoever killed Snake is Zero. Hence, Zero is one of us. Seven and Ace's theories aren't mutually exclusive. They actually complement each other pretty well.
Oh, thanks for noticing.
At least they do if Zero is one of us.
What were his motives?
His motives?
Yes, isn't that pretty important? Why would Zero want to hide as one of us?
Oh, well, that's because... I don't know.
I don't know.
So much for making a persuasive argument, Junpei.
In other words, you only had circumstantial evidence.
Lotus is like the master of doing this in this story. Is like if someone doesn't have the answer to literally every possible question, their working theory is completely useless to her. Which is such like an asinine way to like conduct a scientific discussion.
I don't really think that's enough to go on, you know?
Ah.
It sure is a shame that we have a limited amount of time. We would all love to just faff about it eternally.
It's 3 in the morning.
That means we have 3 hours left.
Then we need to move now. Seven, Clover, Junpei.
The rest...
I know how you feel, but you do understand that right now it's important we trust one another, don't you?
You're right, but...
We must go. We have very little time left.
Our next destination is Mercury.
But maybe you and June should check it out first and then report back to us.
All right, let's go, June.
Right. Here it is.
I do not remember that weird, like, unnatural aside. We probably even experienced that during this playthrough, and I don't remember that. Alright, the next stop is Mercury. By the way, I think the two of you should go alone. Okay, let's go alone.
The Mercury card reader.
We're using the card Seven gave us, right?
Yeah,
I found it when we were checking out the shower room.
I think Seven said something like that. Anyway, let's see what happens. I guess the elevator works now.
Jumpy, I know it's only the two of us, but let's do our best.
Oh,
What's with you all of a sudden?
Well, I'm happy we were put together.
You know it's just for searching E-Deck, right?
Even so, I'm glad I'm with you.
Oh, first we need to find out if the elevator comes up full of water.
Just like we did before.
We could have another really long conversation about it, though, if you want. We could do that.
Oh, here it is.
I knew it. It's not wet at all.
Let's go.
Yes. Look!
I knew it. It's not
Nearly
wet at
all
all.
of the buttons are destroyed.
Yeah, only the
Shakes
seat and
head.
bottom button can be pushed.
Be careful about pressing the bottom button.
We're on C deck right now, so the only one we can choose...
Yeah. Well, let's try it out. Oh, so this is the bottom deck.
Like it says, let's do our best is such a stock Japanese phrase. Like, it means practically nothing. Nah, I was just gonna do the bare minimum in this death game. Yeah, it's... Let's do our best is definitely up there, unlike the stock Japanese phrases. I think I recently made some note of one of my favorites, which is like, is that really okay? Which, like, rarely is even, like, an actual point of discussion. It's usually someone's like, Man, that thing sounds bad. Is it really okay? I guess I'll just keep going anyway.
Hey, over there.
This is a numbered door.
This is the 8th one we found. There were 2 numbered doors on B deck near the central staircase.
Man, what super bad luck. We've only been trying to find the number 9 door, and we found literally every number from 1 to 8, and still no number 9.
Doors 4 and 5. 3 more in the large hospital room.
Maggie says there's also Let's Get Along or Please Take Care of X. Those are like a little more like... They're closer to like pleasantries. I mean, they're similarly like... I'm counting on you is like another kind of popular one. Which like doesn't seem helpful at all. At best, it seems to like add stress to the situation.
Doors 3, 7, and 8.
And the door we found on E deck, and the door Lotus and Santa found on A deck. It was a 6 on the door on E deck, and a 1 on the door on A deck.
Yeah, It Can't Be Helped, also pretty popular. I feel like It Can't Be Helped and Is That Really Okay are usually used like back to back as well. Like, is that really okay? It can't be helped.
That means...
Do you think the next door we find?
Yeah, I think so. The next one's gonna be door 9.
Finally!
You don't know that. Maybe it's gonna be door A because it was hexadecimal the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, why would we have the whole kitchen thing about hexadecimal if it didn't
You
matter
don't
or
look
whatever?
very happy about it, though.
It's not that. I just hope nothing goes wrong.
You're right. We should keep our fingers crossed.
Junpei sounds like me. I have no reason to worry, but I'm really concerned that something will go
Let's
wrong.
head back.
Okay.
What a pointless interlude.
4. All right, 7 pieces.
Ooh, are we ordering from KFC? 7-piece chicken bucket?
Just double checking, but everyone wrote their code name and a door number they want, right?
Yes, just like you told us earlier.
Alright, my code name is Iceman.
Can't believe we're voting here.
We need to make the whole thing fair, blah-de-blah. This is a complicated plan, you know. Hurry it up, Mr. I have a brilliant idea.
Hey, like, pro tip. Anytime that Junpei says he has a brilliant idea, do not trust him.
Yeah, quiet in the peanut gallery. All right, let's open these up. The first one says, Ace requests door 1.
Yes, I do. Would you like me to explain why?
Uncharacteristically to an Uchikoshi game, no, let's
No,
not.
we don't have time for that. Sorry. Let's keep going. Next is Santa. He wants door 6.
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
Clover wants 1, Lotus wants 2, and 7 also wants 2.
Wait a minute. There is no way I'm going anywhere with the Elephant Man.
No, there'd be no
That's
point
not-
to the voting if we let people change their choices because of stuff like that.
That's not the correct way to use that derogatory term, which you also probably shouldn't be using at all.
But-
Just give it up, Lotus. It's not like I want to hang out with some exhibitionist grandma.
I am not an exhibitionist. I'm wearing clothes.
This is a fun fact, maybe only to me, but I don't know if you're familiar with the YouTube content creator and now streamer Lucajin. I used to watch a lot of her stuff. Now I watch less because she's more into streaming stuff that's weird, in my opinion. But I've always had a lot of respect for everything she does. I think she's really funny. She's gone like full VTuber at this point and has this like really scandalous VTuber character model. And for Halloween this year, she has it dressed up like Lotus. And it's very funny to me that she did that.
Barely.
So, last I checked, that's not a crime.
Maybe. But what about common decency? Nobody wants to have to look at a chick who looks like a half-naked raisin.
Oh, I'm gonna kill you!
This implied that Seven
not
died.
good.
Let go! Let go of me! I'm killing him!
I think that's the concern.
Junpei, read the rest.
Right. June wants door 6.
Yes, I don't really have a reason. I just felt like it.
So this was everyone's vote.
Wonder how many people would get the reference. I think she's played 999 like on her stream before. I don't know if she's done any of the other games in the series.
Ace and Clover requested door 1.
Agus suggests the secret is that Snake was actually Zero the whole time and just accidentally died, and it's really awkward. I feel like there's like an interesting story to be told that works that way. Is that you think it's this like really elaborate thing, and you get to the end, it's like, oh, like, no, like he just died. Like it was just unfortunate. It was just like a fatal accident.
Seven and Lotus requested door 2.
Yeah, we're not going in door 2 again.
Requested door 6. Then the door I should choose is... Okay, the last one is mine. I want to go through...
Finally got there. Door numero 6.
I want to go through door 6.
That's a problem. None of these teams will be able to go through the doors they want.
Clover and I chose door 1.
Lotus and I chose door 2.
That's not enough people to open a numbered door, however.
The digital routes don't match up either.
We've got similar problems.
I mean, what were the odds that everyone would be able to go exactly where they wanted? Isn't the point of this to, like, apply some utilitarian logic and figure out how the most people can go where they want?
Junpei and I want to go through door 6, but our digital route is 5. If we're gonna open that door, we need a 1.
Damn, what are we gonna do now?
What are we going to do?
What are we gonna do?
Why don't Seven and Lotus go through door 1 with me?
Laura, I really don't like when you talk like a haunted doll from a horror movie.
What about me?
Neko asks, didn't that sort of happen with Nirvana Initiative? Not, I would argue not really, because it wasn't like an accident. Like, the decisions made by the characters led to something more akin to like a tragic downfall, as opposed to just like, whoops.
Isn't that obvious? Wasn't one of the teams just complaining that they didn't have a 1?
Also, like, absolutely don't get me started on Tokiko and the end of that journey and how little sense that makes. The more you think about it, the dumber you get.
You mean I should join Santa's team?
See, when you put it like that, doesn't that sound like a great idea? Oh man, by the way, has anyone heard of, I think it's called Violent Night? There's like an action movie coming out this year where David Harbour plays Santa Claus, like actual magical Santa Claus. And there's some like wealthy family who's like being held hostage by these like terrorists or these thieves or something. They're like super well armed and organized. And like actual Santa Claus like uses his Santa magic to like fight them like it's Die Hard or something. Like, yes. Like, it sounds so stupid, but I'm so completely on board for it.
Yes.
Huh. I understand. I'll go through door 6 then.
Hey, Arcadius, welcome to the stream. You're a fan of Santa magic being used to kill. I like any novel application of the Santa Claus myth. It's very, like, versatile, and, like, there's a lot you can do with it. And I think that's really interesting. I have my own, like, notion that I haven't quite seen anyone do before, that I was going to incorporate into my extremely stupid, pun-filled card game that will never actually happen. Haggis says, Die Hard is an actual Christmas movie. False. Because Bruce Willis declared that it isn't, and we have to abide by his law.
If we do as Clover has suggested, we can all pass through a numbered door and no one will be left behind. This seems to be the most reasonable solution.
7, Lotus. What do you guys think?
I don't have a problem with it.
Me either.
Alright then, we're good to go.
See you later.
Wait, Clover!
This would
don't
be
move on your own.
This would be Die Hard as an actual Christmas movie. That is true. Like, there's no arguing that if Santa Claus is doing it, it's a Christmas movie. Like, what else would you call that?
Oh, I'll be going too then.
Okay, so speaking of card games, my friend and I got into an argument at work about Magic the Gathering card art versus Yu-Gi-Oh card art. What kind of argument? I mean, they're obviously very different styles. For one, Yu-Gi-Oh typically doesn't have like a ton of background, where like Magic tends to be more like full-on painting, and Yu-Gi-Oh, at least with the monsters, focuses really heavily on the creature with, like, just space behind it or something. Clover's going to murder everyone? You're just overreacting to the whole creepy Victorian doll thing. I'm sure it's fine that she's literally a walking zombie.
Be careful.
Saying Yu-Gi-Oh! Card art is trash and Magic is better because they use a painting aesthetic. I mean, if you prefer a painting aesthetic, you're gonna like it more for sure. Yeah, Clover seems fine. Like, I want you all to remember that, like, we gave Clover a bookmark and said 4 words that Santa hates. So, like, I'm sure she's fine. Like, what else could a person do to cheer up another person? Can we tell Clover it's okay not to be okay? I feel like we should try telling her to walk it off. Acadia says, also to say Die Hard is a Christmas movie is like saying Last Christmas is a Christmas song. I think you're probably right about that. I mean, Last Christmas is a Christmas song in that it's clearly centered around Christmas and then the passage of time to another Christmas. But, like, it's certainly not a Christmas song in the sense of its, like, themes, I guess. Yeah, I've never, like, crazy strongly disagreed with the Die Hard Christmas movie thing, but I've also never understood why some people are so adamant about it.
There should be a door at the end of the hall.
All right,
I'd love it if we went back there and the numbered door was just gone. Like, that's, like, I think I mentioned last week the Glass Cannon podcast is doing this, like, Delta Green campaign that's, like, all about, like, weird, impossible places to exist, and, like, stuff like that happens all the time, and I just find it so interesting.
Here it is. You guys ready?
No, Nick, I mean, I understand, like, what the argument is, which is primarily just that it's set on Christmas, but, like, I mean, it's the sort of thing that, like, my family's joked about a lot in the past. It's just, like, if, like, a movie intersects Christmas at all, we're like, oh, it's a Christmas movie. And, like, part of that is just because, like, we watch, like, a lot of Christmas movies, because, like, we're into the whole, like, Hallmark scene and whatever. But, like, it's, like, it's, I don't know, it's just, like, a weird hill to die on.
Yeah. And let's get to it.
Sweet, it's time for more puzzles.
Hey, I found it. It's right there.
Haggis says, my favorite Christmas thing is It's a Wonderful Life. A failed film made a staggering success by the fact that they cared so little they didn't even keep up the copyright, so it's public domain. Is that true? I didn't know it was public domain. That does explain, like, a lot. Besides New Trek, do you disagree on anything else? I'm sure we do. I mean, there's things that I feel like a lot more strongly about than other people. Because, like, I mean, for one, like, I don't want to get into the whole thing. It feels like a waste of time. But, I absolutely hated The Last Jedi. I thought that movie was, like, atrocious. And I think other members of my family varied from, like, it's fine, I guess, to, like, maybe not great. But, like, oh man, do I hate that movie.
It stopped.
Yes, it stopped.
Whew. I don't believe I'll ever get used to that.
Elf is a great Christmas movie and is one of the only, like, real modern classic Christmas movies.
I'm not sure it's something I'd want to get used to.
I'm surprised that there aren't more attempts to get in on that. I mean, there's the sort of Hallmark market where you're making, like, romantic comedies, and they have kind of like a specific target demographic. But, like, if you attempt to make some kind of holiday special movie and succeed, then your movie will be played forever. Like, I'm just surprised that more people don't attempt to do that. It feels like a really good way to, like, recoup on even a mediocre movie, kind of like Haggis was
We
alluding
should
to.
finish this game before imminent death becomes a normal thing.
You got
Yeah,
that
I guess.
right. Once I'm out of this hellhole.
I agree.
All right, let's go.
What is that Vince Vaughn vehicle? Fred Claus? That
This
sounds
door
right.
looks heavy.
The one where, like, Paul Giamatti is Santa, or they're both just brothers who are related to Santa or
But
something?
it's not locked. I'm opening it.
Everyone mentally prepare yourselves for a door to be opened. I'm gonna struggle with this one on
the
PC,
hell
I
is
know
this?
it.
This has to be the biggest room so far. The ceiling is pretty high, too.
Look at this room. It's much bigger than our other rooms.
Could be 2 stories. Maybe even more.
This space could be utilizing the entire length of the ship.
This room has a little bit of a Myst vibe to it, like Myst and like the earlier Myst games at the very least would sometimes set things up so that like you'd have to like flip a switch on one screen and then like traverse like 7 or 8 other screens to like get to a device to see what flipping the switch did. I feel like this room does a little bit of that.
What's that huge Kamaboko-looking building in the middle?
I could answer that question if I knew what that meant.
Kamaboko? Well, I guess that's as good of a description of it as any. I see stairs, so we may as well head over to them.
Yeah, but this section's barely wide enough to fit one person.
You're right.
Whoa, you can't even tell the shape when you're this close.
Let's check out the other side, too.
This looks to be the steam engine room.
The steam engine room?
Yes, that thing that looks like a cross-section of a mushroom is the boiler. Do you see the 3 round doors near the bottom? Coal is put into those and burned, which heats the water, producing steam. The same thing that drives a steam engine. This one is simply somewhat larger.
There's something absurd to me. Like, I appreciate the explanation of generally what the engine is and how it works. But there's something really funny to me about Ace being like, so yeah, you like heat up the coal and it becomes steam. You know, the same substance that drives the steam engine. Like, yeah, like, I mean, yes, steam drives a steam engine. I don't know why that felt like that was like a helpful, whatever. I guess so Ace used to be narrator for how it's made, right? Yeah, I think that's why you recognized his voice earlier. Probably that.
I see.
It doesn't appear to be running right now.
All right, let's split up. Hey, what's wrong? Are you all right?
I don't know if it's a matter of perspective, but doesn't it seem like Junpei has like cartoonishly huge hands, or like June is like actually made of like a couple of twigs bound together with a tunic? Ditto asked Vasco, have you seen or tried Dome Keeper? I've seen a little bit of it. I haven't seen enough to really form an opinion on it. I like the aesthetic and the general idea is good. The upgrade tree doesn't seem that exciting. So, like, I don't know how I feel about that aspect of it. Mostly by that, I mean, like, in like a game where you end up having to start over, if the early upgrades are, like, kind of utilitarian, it's not that exciting to have to keep doing the loop, if that makes sense. But, like, just look how big his hand is. I feel like the way his hand is depicted, he could, like, wrap one entire hand around her whole body, like he's, like, Thanos or something.
Hey, June.
Jumpy.
Oh, you're really warm.
Do you think that she got wet down
Is
here?
your fever coming back?
Yes. Yes. But I'm fine. Please, don't worry about me. I just need to rest. And I'll be fine.
Okay. Here, sit down. Careful.
Thank you.
I mean, there's definitely a difference in the size of their hands, but, like, I feel like the proportion to her waist, like, also is really concerning. I don't think it's just the hands.
Ace, Santa.
Yes.
Right. All right, let's get started. Hang in there, June. I'm gonna get you out of here real soon.
Seek a way out. It's puzzle time! this one's... I remember this one being, like, among the more frustrating ones. Partially because of how much space you have to traverse, and partially because of how fiddly some of the stuff is, like figuring out the process they want you to go through, so expect me to embarrass myself. Ready, go. It's a square hole. Nothing in there. Ah, look at the back wall there. I can see 3 small slots, terminals for some sort of connector, perhaps? You mean you think we're supposed to plug something in here? Perhaps. Look at that button. It's glowing orange, right? That's gotta mean something. I guess pressing it is the best way to find out if it does anything, Santa. Nothing. It didn't do anything. What are people's thoughts on the Mario trailer? Like, I don't know. I've been surprised at how strong most people's reactions are to the Mario trailer. It's more or less exactly what I would have expected it to be. So I find that ultimately my feelings are sort of medium. I'm sort of like, given what I knew about what they were doing, that's exactly it. That they did it. I mean, I generally like Chris Pratt, maybe more than the average person does. Partially because he's Star-Lord and I really am attached to that character. I don't know that I love him as the choice for Mario, but I've seen worse casting. It's hard to tell what that's going to be like at, like, full feature length, though, you know? It's a big gold gear! Gold gear! A golden gear. It doesn't look like it was always golden like this. Well, then I imagine it was prepared especially for this game. It looks like there's a door over there in this tunnel. The belt over there must deliver the coal, which is then picked up and thrown into this door. The door appears to be welded shut, however. Do I have to look at this? Gear is rusty, but it looks like it's still pretty sturdy. It's pretty much everything I can see there. This is the huge oven for this boiler. There are 3 open areas in it. Each of the open areas has a gear in it. Move over to there. Move over to there. There's a pair of wooden boxes here. There's nothing in them. Okay. Silver gear. Do you think it's made of pure silver? Yeah, I bet it weighs hundreds of pounds and sounds crummy. No way, silver's way too soft to use for a gear. It's gotta be steel or iron that's coated in silver. Ugh. Shouldn't have called it a silver gear then. Silver gear? You're thinking you were gonna haul this thing back? Nah, but I think 7 could probably carry it, don't you? Nico says, I haven't seen the trailer, just the poster. The art looked right. I'm glad they learned from the old Mario film, while not making the mistake Sonic did. Yeah, I saw someone respond to the Mario trailer by being like, you know, seeing this trailer, I kind of hate to say it, but I feel like Sonic might have been better off being, like, all animated. I still haven't seen the second Sonic, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, but the first one was, like, a lot better than I expected. Huge bronze gear. This has to be important. It must mean something. Yeah, I mean, Arcadia says, I just don't like that Chris Pratt Mario is just Chris Pratt speaking like Chris Pratt. I'm inclined to agree. I just don't know that, like, Chris Pratt's speaking voice is a good fit for the Mario character. Like, I can tell that I can tell there's some attempt to make, like a New York accent. It's not super clear, and I imagine it won't be entirely consistent throughout the movie because of that. Yeah. Should have used Danny DeVito. Oh, man. Angus says, the voice actor for Ace is Richard Epcar, known for voicing Bato the Joker, Commissioner Gordon, Raiden from Mortal Kombat. Oh, you're right, that is Bobobo! Wow, I never noticed that. But you're totally right. Ace is Bobobo. What an insane thing. Oh, and he does the dub of Joseph Joestar. I've just recently started watching through JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I just finished Stardust Crusaders? What's season 2? I finished season 2. I really like Joseph Joestar. He might be my favorite Joestar so far. There's a bunch of wooden boxes over here by the wall. I already looked through those. There's nothing there. Can I go upstairs? Some switches. This slider is down. Let's see if we can get this thing to go anywhere. Oh, man, no dice. This thing isn't going anywhere. These two columns are different from the others. The lights are red. This one also doesn't work, right? The 3 sliders on the left are down, but this one is up. There are a number of lines engraved in these. I suspect we're meant to do something rather specific with them. Junpei, why don't you move that slider down? Well, there's no harm in trying. Nothing. Nothing happened. Maybe it needs to be prepared somehow. You're saying if we did something somewhere else, it'd respond somehow? There you go, that's such a good explanation of that. Yes, I suppose you could say if you did a thing, there would be a result from that thing that you did. Let's go upstairs more. Okay. Does this go somewhere? Hey, Junpei, where are you going? The only thing in there is a closed numbered door. Kinda pointless to go back. Sure is. Can I turn around here? I can. Let's do A first. One of the doors on the furnace. There's an A on it. There's a circular wheel in the center. Alright, let's give this sucker a twist. Everyone, get ready. I'm going to open a door. Nico says, I don't really see Star-Lord as Mario. I wonder why they went for him. Box office draw? I mean, he's... I think his like Hollywood clout is sort of waning at this point, but I still feel like he's a pretty big name for box office draw. And my guess is, like, in addition to just wanting the movie to, like, do well, and so getting, like, a big Hollywood name is probably helpful, like, they may also have, like, leaned into that decision because of how poorly the original, like, 80s Super Mario movie was received. So they may have tried to do something that they thought would be generally popular or something. Door's a bit noisy, but it still opens, and it's totally pitch black in there. We should, go in there. Alright, let's go. This looks just like the door we went into. Where are we? We must be on the other side, yes? Which would put us directly above the conveyor belt. At any rate, we should keep moving. There's a great deal we've yet to investigate. You know, it's that same weird contraction that they used in Darkside Detective that I thought was a Britishism. There's a whole bunch of boxes in my way. I can't get through. What about over here? Well, anyway, looks like that's the pipe. Looks like the bottom connects to the conveyor belt housing. Then coal must come out of this pipe onto the conveyor belt. In other words, there must be a great deal of coal in that pipe. The catwalk. Can I do a little turn on it? There are a number of boxes on the catwalk. I don't think we can go over there. So, A-door doesn't do anything then, huh? Allows us to go through the other side of the B and C doors. Is that useful? Yes, that lets us get around the boxes if we go to B. Alright, let's give this wheel a spin. Ahoy, Mr. Generic Name. Welcome to the stream. How you doing today? Castlark says, you're saying Bob Hoskins wasn't a good Mario? I didn't say anything of the sort. What I said is that the movie was not well received. Neko says, unlike the famous name Mario. Well, no, you're okay. That's not a fair comparison, Neko. It's sort of standard procedure in Hollywood that, like, if you're trying to get people to go to a movie that they're on the fence about, you get, like, a big name actor so that you can be like, I like the work of that actor. Maybe I wouldn't have seen that movie, but I'm interested because Chris Pratt is attached or whatever. So, like, it's not that people won't recognize that Mario is, like, a famous thing. The concept is that you get an established and well-known actor attached to your project, and then people are more likely to see it because they know and or care about that actor's work. It's true, Hollywood is, like, absurdly risk-averse. Like, gone are the ages when, like, fun movies would get made for the sake of making fun movies. Unfortunately, that time is just past. Now everything is so, like, corporately focused. It's a frowner. It's a real frown town. What? That's weird. I don't feel any resistance. Yeah. Oh no. Whoops. I was turning that wheel and now I just own it. It's a wheel that seems to be part of the winch. There are some pegs on the back that look like they go into the holes on the winch. Good job, genius. You broke it. I didn't break it. It broke all by itself. I just happened to be present and interacting with it when that happened. Hand-operated winch. The wheel it once had is now in my hand. Let's see if I can get it back on. There's a couple of posts on the back that look like they could fit into the holes. No good. These little shafts are too small for this big hole. What? If that's the case, then that wheel wasn't originally part of this winch. Then that means... ... So I can't go any further this way because more boxes. Which means I must turn around now. I think that might be the only reason I need to use the A or B doors. What's the deal with C? I don't think C matters, does it? Oh, hang on. It's one of the great metal ribs of the ship. Like it says, I used to have a good opinion of Chris Pratt because of Star-Lord, funny, husky guy. Seeing his turnaround was incredible. Now that I know his political stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a big part of why I feel like his Hollywood capital's on the decline, as I said earlier. There's also, like, some people are just sort of, like, soured by his social media presence and his most recent marriage and some of that stuff. That stuff doesn't bother me quite as much. Yeah, I don't know. I still like Star-Lord a lot, but, like, it's definitely hard. Like, I care a lot about the Star-Lord character, and I feel like he brings a lot to that character, and it's definitely disappointing to me how that has sort of played out. Well, there's like a big winchy thing I might be able to winch. The hand-operated winch. There's no wheel to turn. Oh yeah, I got a wheel to turn. Let's see if it fits. Sweet, it's a perfect fit. It's like they were made for each other. Not shaky at all. Good, I should be able to turn it now. Good work, Junpei. We should be able to haul up this wooden box now. You see the wooden box? It's under the catwalk. Can you see it? Hey, do you see the box? Does everybody see Swiper the box? Where is it? Looks like there's some sort of device in that box. Not sure what it is. At any rate, you might as well turn the wheel now. I'm counting on you. Is it really okay for him to count on us? I guess it can't be helped. Alright, I'm gonna turn this wheel. Everyone prepare yourselves mentally. Huh? What's this? What happened? This wheel only turns to the left. It only turns to the left? That means we can't reel up that rope. Yeah. We can only let the rope down. Interesting. I don't think that'll be a problem. We will simply need to go downstairs after letting the wooden box down. I will still be counting on you, Junpei. Yes, do your best, Junpei. Sure thing, no sweat. It's a little interesting to me that this might be the only room where, like, all of the, like, active characters are, like, following you the whole time. there might be some point where someone splits off from you other than June. But, like, it's just, like, both of the characters have been commenting on everything. I've been traversing all of creation. Alright, now I have to go downstairs.
I believe the box has reached the floor.
Yeah. June's down over by there.
She doesn't seem to be improving.
Well, of course not. She's not gonna just get better right away, you know? It'll take time.
What could be causing this, I wonder?
Nah, it's gotta be exhaustion. She gets dropped into some weird-ass shit, forced to play some messed-up game. If you think about it, it's a lot weirder that we aren't freaking out just like her, you know?
So you're saying we're abnormal?
Yeah. We're just running around this room, solving all these puzzles like it's just business as usual. How the hell could you call that normal? We're just guinea pigs.
A guinea pig? You mean like a lab rat?
I mean, it's sort of its own analogy already. It doesn't need a sub-analogy?
You mean we're being used for some sort of experiment? Is that what you're saying?
Dunno.
I'm some sort of clown for your amusement?
But it does seem like a possibility, you know?
This leg footsteps. You can take a sip if you want to.
Squeak.
Squeak, squeak, like a lab rat. Alright, I think that might actually cover all the things I have to do upstairs. I have to go through... Do I have to go through C to do that? I didn't think I did. I misremembered that. For some reason, I thought I remembered only one of the doors working now. Can you not see? Alright, for some reason that doesn't work, and it's not clear to me why. Yeah, I just go downstairs now. I think that's everything I need up here, which is nice. Let's see, which corner would have come down here? A wooden box. Let's see what's inside. It's control panel for something! Some kind of machine. Maybe a control panel? Like it says, I'm surprised the characters haven't looked even a little tired considering they've been playing for hours and it's 3 a.m. I keep odd hours, but most people sleep at night.
Effective!
It is somewhat effective. It's somewhat effective for some sort of thing. Neko, I think the answer to your mystery is that, like, we woke up at, like, 9 p.m., more or less? We woke up shortly before 9 p.m., so we haven't been up that long, although the stress factors of the game would sort of offset that for sure. Looks like some kind of control panel. It's got 3 terminals on the back. 3 terminals, eh? Actually, can we... Just like an item. 3 terminals, you say? Did we happen to see some sort of thing that wanted a 3-terminal box? Maybe this hole is where the control panel goes. There's only one way to find out. Dude, you did it! Everything looks alright. Okay, but what do we do now? Why don't you press the button next to it? The orange one? Yes. Alright, I'll do it. Mentally prepare yourselves for the pushing of it. Sweet, all sorts of lights are lighting up on this thing. It's like a Christmas tree. Get it? It all comes together. And, oh, I think I just heard something turn on. Does anyone else think they heard something turn on, or is that just me? Is there... Strain really hard for a moment. It's a little subtle. Yes, I'm pretty sure I heard something turn on. Oh, what's that? What happened? Junpei, look, the conveyor belt's moving. The conveyor belt? Well, I guess it's done moving now. There's still a bunch of coal on the belt, though. Looks like a bunch of it got dumped off the end of the belt into that wooden box that we found the control panel in which we found the control panel. Coal. Coal, huh? This isn't very green of us. I got a box filled with coal. A fun, sexy time for me. It's the huge oven for the boiler. There's some way in which I look at these things. Remember this giving me a lot of trouble. Aha. Wait, where do I get these parts? Given its placement, this must unlock the door to the left. There's a weird indentation on the top of this thing. Do you think that means you have to insert something here? Yes, I would imagine so. So that's not where I need to go. There we go. You have to find the weird hitbox for these small circles to put the coal in it. I feel like this has given me trouble many times before. Yeah, this is where Santa got his coal supply for the future. He stole it all from the Titanic. It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, but like quantum physics or something. Neko says, we also woke up from being knocked out, and I think everyone was knocked out at night, so they haven't properly slept. I mean, that suggests that everyone was, like, knocked out immediately before being brought... Like, maybe we were knocked out and then remained unconscious for, like, 2 days while they, you know, resurrected the derelict Titanic and shoved us on it. I don't know if that would mitigate, to some extent, the effects of being knocked unconscious, is, like, remaining unconscious for longer so that your body sort of normalizes to it. It sounds plausible, but I definitely am making it up. That's right. I had a look at it earlier, but it's rusted shut, I'm afraid. Perhaps you should check the other side. Do you mean this? This one is welded shut. How? This gets me every time, and I know it always gets me, and I never remember how to find the right angle to look at the stupid thing so that I can just put coal in it. Look, Ace, some kind of snowman's secret meeting. Those are just bags full of sand. You use them as a counterweight when you're lifting something with a pulley system. Man, you're too serious. Why so serious? Do you want to see me make this box of coal disappear? But they haven't eaten? I mean, there was some meat in the kitchen. They could have had a glass of spoiled milk. Yeah, I mean, so... That's a valid point, Haggis. They are, in fact, sedated. They go to the trouble of establishing that, like, some sort of white mist was used to render them unconscious, which is more in the realm of sedative than, like, actually properly being knocked out. It is a meaningful distinction. But how do I do it? I'm too stupid, game. This gets me every time. How do I never get better at this? Oh. That's what it is, huh? I just randomly turn left on a place where I have no reason to turn left? Yeah, I can't see why that throws me up every time. Yeah, I heard it too. For some reason I said that throws me up every time. Don't worry about it. There's a hole that'll let us put coal in the furnace. Maybe if we can get some coal in here and set it on fire, there must be some coal dust in the atmosphere. Let's do it! Alright, that's the last of it. No coal left in this one small wooden box. And nothing. Great. Well, I guess I should have expected that. Why would just throwing coal in a cold furnace do anything? Well, a man can dream. And when a man has a dream, that's the start. Junpei, explain it to me again. You're planning to stoke the furnace with coal, which will heat the water stored up in there and make steam, which will then drive something else. Am I correct? In other words, you want to generate enough pressure with the steam to power the turbine and drive the steam engine, right? Yeah, I guess. That's sure. That might as well happen. Well, in that case, this isn't enough coal. This furnace is enormous. We're gonna need a whole heck of a lot more coal than this. Very well. If the three of us work together, we should manage to fill it much faster. I want to help too. Man, I totally didn't even see her walk up. Are you feeling up to that? Yes. Yeah, right. You look like you're one stiff breeze away from falling over. I could crush you with one bare hand. Because I have bear paw-sized hands for some reason. You saw the art. I think you'd better rest some more, alright? But No arguing. You need your rest. So you just stay there. We'll handle this. Okay, I understand. Alright, time for some manly work. Let's get this coal into those furnaces. Enjoy this noise. enjoy it some more. Coal shoveling noises. Man, this is a lot of work. I feel like just by the amount of physical time and effort implied by trying to, like, fill this enormous furnace with coal, this probably has to be, like, the longest escape room canonically in the ship. Probably? Alright, this should be sufficient. Alright, now we just gotta light it. Alright, some third thing that starts with the word alright. Junpei, hand me your matches. What makes you think I have matches? I see. Then how are we gonna light it? Perhaps there's a device nearby that will allow us to remotely ignite the coal. Let's take a look, shall we? Some sort of ignition device, huh? Do I have to close these? Oh, we put a bunch of coal in the furnace. If we can get it to light... Okay, it does it automatically. Nope, that's the wrong direction. Yeah, there's nothing confusing about that. Okay, I feel less bad about that throwing me up every time. Flip them switches. Is this? I think it might be. It probably is. I think this is how we might manage to ignite the furnace. That means if we move that thing down... Alright, let's do it. Here we go. Hey, Junpei, Ace, look at this. There's big gears turning under the boiler here. Look at them go! Oh. The gears! The big metal gears! They're spinning. What are you guys waiting for? Let's start looking. Okay. I would like this object. Gold disc. The gold disc. It has a number of lines engraved on it. I can make out 3 colors here. Red, blue, and black. I wonder what they mean. Give me this one. Bronze disc. The bronze disc. It has like a bunch of lines in 3 different colors. And I have a sneaking suspicion that we might find a silver disc which has lines on it in 3 different colors. The silver disc. It has a bunch of lines, but the red ones really stand out, right? The red ones, huh? That's kind of funny that that one gives you a clue that the others don't. Although, to be honest, I always found it pretty obvious that the red ones stood out. Just by the way they're positioned when you pick them up, but maybe that's me. That might not be an everyone thing. Looks like this unlocks the door. There's a depression here and it's affecting me seasonally. There's also an outline of 3 circles laid on top of each other in a triangle. Maybe if we put those 3 discs into this disc slot. There's only one way to find out. Let's stick them in. Mentally prepare yourselves for me to stick it in. Yeah, 3 down, 115 elements to go. I mean, why do you think we have 2 sequels, Demolition? Huh? That's odd. Nothing's happening. Maybe you're, I don't know, putting them in the wrong places? Perhaps you have them facing the wrong directions. Perhaps you should rotate the discs to make some of the lines connect to one another. Well, no harm in trying. Instructions for operation. When the disc is clicked, it will rotate a certain amount. When the white arrow is clicked, the discs are switched. Please note when the discs are switched, the angles for the discs are reset. Is that right? The outlines on the gold and the bronze slots are a little similar. This outline looks a little more like gold to me. We'll find out. Okay, you just click them. You don't have to, like, rotate them. This might be correct. The red lines on those discs. I think maybe I can make a star polygon with these. You found it! Alright, Dangerlex, how's it going?
Yes,
We're in the midst of...
the door's open.
We're in the midst of the number 6 room, if you can't tell. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well.
All right, Junpei. Why don't you go get June now? Santa and I will keep an eye on the store.
Why do we need to do that?
It might run off or something. You don't know.
Even if it shuts, we know how to solve the puzzle now. We could just open it again.
Well, I suppose that's true. Shall all three of us go and collect June then?
Nah, I'm cool. I'll let Junpei handle it.
Then why did you son of a...
So are you only interested in being contrary?
Oh, that's exciting. You had a long day at TwitchCon, day 1 of 3 completed. That's very exciting. I don't know a ton about what's going on there in particular this year, but I hope you're having a good time.
All right, I'll go get June. I'll be right back.
He did in fact call Santa out for being contrarian, which I appreciate.
Oh, Jumpy!
It's implied that June's here, even though we didn't bother to draw
Are you
her.
okay?
Yes, I'm fine now. I'm sorry I made you worry.
Let me check.
Meeting friends, having fun. I mean, that's the main reason to go to a convention, for real.
Good. You're feeling a lot better. Are you sure you're all right?
It's weird to say you're feeling a lot better. I assume he, like, checked her temperature with his hand or something. But, like, also, given the nature of their flirtatious relationship, it's kind of a bold thing to say.
Oh, you're such a warrior, Jumpy. Oops, I mean, warrior.
Sorry, sometimes I goof my homonyms when I'm having an
All
episode.
right, let's go.
Go where?
Oh, right. I didn't tell you. We got the exit open, so...
Great! Let's go!
Multiple footsteps. Take a sip of your drink.
Oh, it's...
Santa? What are you looking at?
It's a photo. It's my sister.
Sister? Santa, you've got a sister?
And your sister's a photo? My dad's not a cell phone. I threw it on the ground.
Yeah. Kid was cute as a button.
She was only about an inch tall then? Oh, sorry. I guess an inch is a little large for a button. Probably more like a half inch.
I'm trying to have a moment here, June!
Sorry.
Why are you looking at it?
Why do you care about your sister,
I
idiot?
was her Santa Claus.
Wait, what?
Have you ever heard the story of the 2 Santa Clauses?
Oh, this is fun. Hey, everyone, go ahead and picture an egg for me if you would.
It goes that a long time ago, there were 2 Santas.
I forgot that this conversation happens here, and we've had this weird Christmas discussion going on. It's a theme. It's a theme stream.
One of them wore white.
Picture an egg.
And the other one wore black.
Picture an egg.
No red Santa, mind you. You got a white Santa and a
The
black
white
Santa.
Santa gave presents to good kids, and the black Santa played tricks on bad kids. They went on like that for a while, but eventually the black Santa's tricks started to get worse and worse. Pretty soon, the white Santa couldn't stand it anymore, and he stabbed the black Santa to death.
Yeah, and I bet the police helped him cover it up, too. Super rude. Another Santa resides here in chat. He certainly does. Thank you for the bits, Demolition. Much appreciated.
When he stabbed the other Santa, the white Santa got blood all over his clothes.
And he was like, hey, I like this look, and also murder. So then he became the bad
And
Santa.
that's why, these days, his
Guess
clothes
like-
are red.
Lark says, that escalated quickly. It sure did, right? There were like 4 sentences to that story before, like, the 2 characters that were introduced were involved in a homicide. Yeah, that's my point exactly. Why's it gotta be the Black Santa? Very sus.
You could say that red is all that's left of the black Santa. I wonder which Santa I am.
You're both, you see? You did the fusion dance.
The white Santa or the black Santa?
Oh.
All right.
His reactions to that
Let's
are
go.
weird. Huh? Oh. I thought I remembered that story being longer. The brevity of the story makes it even more ridiculous that he's like, once upon a time there were 2 Santas, and one killed the other one. That's the whole story. Picture an egg.
Huh?
Hey, what are you 2 doing? Let's get moving. Come on.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, you're finally back.
Nico says, everyone knows Coca-Cola made the Red Santa. Wait, Coca-Cola inspired him to kill? I feel like there's a lawsuit in that, too.
Sorry we took so long.
Did that really take that long? That was like the shortest story in the world. He never said how the 2 Santas
Let's
were
go.
related to his button-sized sister. You know, I like to think that there are 2 Santas inside of each of us.
Huh. Is this a warehouse?
No, I believe this is the cargo room. This must be where they store all of this vessel's freight.
There are wooden crates everywhere. I wonder how old they are.
Well, we probably ought to start with finding the exit, right? Let's get going.
You thought we were done? Fools! Seek a way out. Such puzzle room. Alright, let's look around. There are a bunch of bags here. I wonder what's in them. Oh, look, it's Snake. See, I'm sure he's fine. Why would we have a card with his face on it if he were a pile of gore and jam? A card with Snake's face printed on it. Pretty straightforward. It says, everyone has 2 Santas inside of them. They're killing each other. You have terminal cancer. That sounds... I believe that was the moral of the story, yeah. What's that? It's a card. It has a headshot on it. A headshot? Yeah. I'm not really sure what purpose this could possibly serve. You have to sort of painstakingly click all the white bags in this place. They each individually store these cards, light spoiler alert. This Clover's... Yeah, I'm not gonna read these. It's a card with everyone's face on it. Is this box something? It's another one. Hit Ace. Nope, that's the wrong one. How about this guy? I got another card. I did conveniently find Snake and Clover's cards together. I feel like they intentionally grouped them together there close to the start so you would pick them up together. It's a little interesting. I'm not sure if I noticed that previously. Got 7. Is there anything in these boxes? We've searched all these boxes. There's nothing in them. Oh. We didn't search all this box. It's my face! Not cool, man. You took this picture without my permission. It looks pretty cool, though. You look really handsome in this picture. Hey, knock it off, lovebirds. Nani? We are neither cute nor a couple. Not at all. Not in any way. Harsh. Oh, and look. Ours card was together with June's card. This must be... Oh no! Don't look at it! I'm not cute at all, and I'm not photogenic, and I don't look sexy either. Next to Clover, my skin looks gross. And I'm not sexy like Lotus. I know guys go for women who look like Lotus. Do they? She has certain attributes, granted. But she's distressing to me. But... I'm trying to. I'm doing the best I can. So please don't call me a board or a trash can or a cutting board. Alright, I don't love the first or the third one, but how does trash can even factor into the... Wait a minute. I haven't said anything like that, have I? It's quite the conversation for looking at an object. Like I says, I still want to see the random quiz you took with Tech to determine whether you were cute and or a couple. Wasn't it... Weren't the questions spoken aloud in that Valentine's Day episode where we took that quiz? I think it's the title, right? I don't remember which video it is from years ago. This is the only area with a fence around it. Junpei, think you could go take a look at that? Sorry, but no thanks. Why? I've, got a bad feeling about it. Did not remember this game using that word. Okay, fine. I'll go. Please be careful, Santa. Yeah, but just in case. Wait, what's he gonna do with that screw? I don't see what throwing a screw at a fence is. Oh, right. She's having a physical crisis. Yeah, for sure. Honestly, I feel the same. Like, I hate looking at photos of myself. You might not assume that's true because I'm literally streaming my face to you right now, but I don't have to look at it. I hate looking at photos of myself. It's so triggering for me. Bleh. Well, update on Rasputin. Curled up under the heat lamp, being adorable. Very good. I guess Ellie Sattler managed to prime the electrical pump. There's electricity running through that fence. Looks like it. Then we can't get to the other side to find the chicken. Well, we could jump off those crates, but we wouldn't be able to get back. Huh. I think we can get to the other side of the fence by jumping off these crates. What are you saying? There's a huge current flowing through that fence. If you do that, you won't be able to get back. Well, if I can move some of those crates over there... Are you even sure you can move them? What if they weigh too much? Then what are you going to do? Ah, yeah, I hadn't thought of if I couldn't move them. I wish I didn't feel that way about pictures of myself. Oh my god, same! I also feel that way. Wouldn't that be a nice world to live in? Gosh, that would sure be great for me. Lex says, me today after taking pics with people. But hey, it's what I look like. What can I do about it? It's a pretty good attitude to have. I don't know. I'm just convinced that I'm just some, like, wretched gremlin. Part of that is also the way certain people respond to me, though, in fairness. Chris says, I can't ever figure out how to smile, even when my picture's being taken. I feel like when your picture's being taken is the time when you naturally least feel like you understand how to smile. There's, like, certain things that, like, when you start thinking about them, they seem more difficult than when you're not. And, like, trying to smile for a photo is, like, absolutely one of those, to me. These crates are quite large. They seem to be tied to one another with sturdy straps. I don't remember. I don't think I go up here until later, right? Or is this a now thing? These stairs, they go up 3 stories. What are you waiting for, Junpei? Whatever, I'm going. The door is like the way out or something, right? I don't need to mess with that. It's some sort of boxy monstrosity. This looks like it's covering something. Looks like some kind of little shutter. Maybe it'll open if we do something. What's gonna come out of it? I sure hope candy comes out of that. So I need the... yeah, I need the other thing first. This is a later thing. Okay. I honestly prefer just like the awkward clicking the navigational arrows as opposed to using the keyboard shortcuts. This says something about me, I'm sure. I think I've checked all the bags over here. So how is it that I convinced the game to let me, like, go over there? Do I just keep trying it repeatedly? These crates are a little smaller than the others. They look like they're the children of the other crates. Junpei, that sounds like some sort of fairy tale. Really? I don't know, man. You ever think about how crates would reproduce? Hey, chat. You ever think about how crates would reproduce? You got free Crocs today at the convention. Nice. Are they like branded Crocs? Are they like Twitch Crocs or something? Doesn't sound like a fairy tale to me. Why? How does that not sound like a fairy tale? Is this a separate box? No, it's the same box. I'm missing something. Let me... I can't go in here, right? Yeah, this is the one out. Obviously, it's locked. And it needs a key. So we need the key, which we do not possess. When one crate puts a snake in the other crate. But the snake can only be in one crate at a time. And my items are just the cards, right? I don't have any, like, weird thing I can use to yada yada. Feel dumb for not remembering this, but here we are. It almost looks like I could just, like, squeeze past the fence over here. It looks like there's an opening. They aren't Twitch Crocs. Got them from the game Her. Which you thought was going to be their brand, but they're just blue. Oh, that's nice. I would have figured that would be like the only downside, is that it had like some logo on it that you felt weird about. But if it doesn't, that's great, right? It's locked. We need the key. All of the boxes have numbers on them. Do they? Oh. Ace bent down and picked up something that had been sitting next to the box. Junpei, take a look at Banner. Cards? Okay. It's one card with a headshot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ah. Yep. I forgot that if I looked at the boxes, it would give me the last card I needed.
Now we finally have all 9 picture cards.
We got the whole set of 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors trading cards. Hooray for me! Not gonna lie, if they sold them, I'd probably own them.
We just need to insert these cards into the slots at the front of each box.
You know which card goes in which box, yes?
Yeah, Ace, why are you concerned about that?
Yeah, of course I do. It's really obvious. You just match our numbers to the numbers, then you pop the corresponding card in the right box. So for instance, the card with the picture of Ace on it goes into box 1. The card with the picture of Snake on it goes into box 2, and so on.
They already solved 2/9 of the puzzle for me.
I see.
Huh?
I'll leave the rest to you.
Hey, wait!
Is he counting on me? I swear to
What's wrong
God.
with him? Oh well, whatever. Time to solve the 9 boxes puzzle. Ace's card is in box 1, Snake's is in number 2. I just need to do the same for the rest. And finally, the 9th man's card into box 9.
Oh, I thought it actually made you do this. Huh, weird.
Yeah! Oh, they opened! What the? 9 pins?
Oh, we got all the trading cards, and then as a prize, we got 9 collector's pins? Man, we're on fire today. Our collection is almost complete.
I guess I'll take them with me.
Oh my gosh.
Anyone else excited about our collector pins? Looks like the kind of pins you use for sewing. There's 9 of them. They have numbers running from 1 to 9. Yeah, no, I got it. Thanks. Not excited about the collection, huh, Ditto? Trading cards are cooler than pins, in my opinion, for sure. I have a friend who's very enthusiastic about pins. He likes mostly like the penny arcade pins from like conventions and stuff. I don't like personally get it, but like he's really into them, and I respect it. Actually, I apologize. They're really into it. I just like mash play on the jam box, right? 6 holes here, and it looks like the pins I just found would be a perfect fit for them. The ones you found in the 9 boxes, right? Well, why don't you try it? Alright, let's see what happens. I think 2, 4, and 6 should go here on the top part, and 3, 5, and 7 should go on the bottom part. Well, some of them lit up. Yeah, 3 and 6. I wonder if there's some kind of rule that determines which lights go on. Well, I put 2, 4, and 6 pins on the top part, and 3, 5, and 7 on the bottom. Do you think maybe it's the digital root? The digital root? 2 plus 4 plus 6 equals 12. The digital root of 12 is 3. Therefore, light 3 turns on. 3 plus 5 plus 7 equals 15. And their digital root is 6. Therefore, light 6 turns on. Makes sense, right? I see. The lights that match the digital root of the pins inserted in the top and lower ones light up. So that's how it works. Well, there's one other thing I'd like to check. Well, if he wants to try, he's certainly welcome to. So, he'd put the 1, 2, and 3 pins on the top, and 6, 7, and 8 pins on the bottom. Oh. They turned off. 6 plus 7 plus 8 equals 21. The digital root is 3. Therefore, light 3 turns off. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6. The digital root of 6 is 6. Therefore, light 6 turns on. Oh, I get it now. You undid our progress. Now, instead of being 2/9 completed, we're only 1/9 completed, idiot. You've unintentionally started a pin collection thanks to Twitch. These things happen. I technically have a pin collection, because my sister has, enabled me access to certain Disney-related things that, get you, like, rare collector pins that I definitely wouldn't otherwise have. The digital root of the pins you insert is the same as the number on the lights that are lit. Those lights turn off. Looks like that's the trick. Now we know how. Now we've explained at great lengths how this fairly simple puzzle works. You want to give it a try? You mean, you know what we're supposed to do with these lights? Well, no, but I figure we could try and see if we turn them all on, you know? Figure something's gonna happen if we can manage that. I do have a good sister. I have a great sister. She's a huge Disney fan. She's in, like, the elite tier of Disney stuff, and I enjoy Disney theme parks and Disney things a great deal myself, but have been generously afforded the ability to go much more often than I could afford to go otherwise. Can I finally do the puzzle? Is this puzzle really hard? Is this puzzle, like, really hard, do you think? Because the game has now explained, like, 3 times how it works, and we're gonna do it again. Pick one of the 6 pins in the holes and make digital root and light up the numbers and every main screen turn on. War was beginning. Alright, let's do it. Alright, there's probably some really smart way to do this super efficiently. I could do, like, 8 to drag them? How to doing it? It didn't actually illuminate... Okay. I click the hole that I want to put it in, and then I click the pin. So this is 9 and 8, which makes 17, which digital root to 8. And then if I do, like... Nope. If I do, like, 7 and 5 and 4, same thing should apply. Alright, 3 down. My ridiculously circuitous puzzle is 1/3 completed. If only this game had explained digital roots at some point. I mean, it's fun to joke about, but the game does generously supply you with a digital root calculator function. So if you, like, really can't be bothered to do it, like, they even got you covered there, which I do appreciate. Yeah, I mean, I think at some point the game goes over it, but, like, one of the easiest ways to, like, fudge digital roots is, like, if you add 9 to something, you get the same digital root. So if you just, like, choose the number you want and then add 9 to it, then you'll get the number that you want. So, like, it is one way to do this puzzle. So I'll do 6. And then I'll add 9 in the form of 2 and 7. And then I'll choose 5, and then add 9 in the form of 8 and 1. Cool. Let's do 4. And then I'll do 8 and 1 again. And then we'll do 3. And we'll do 2 and 7. And then we just need 2 more. 2. And we'll do... I think for 1 I have to do something different, Or like one of these I'll have to do something different. So that'll give me 2. But since I'm using so many small numbers... and I need to use 1 if I'm going to use the same trick. It doesn't really work, right? I don't know, I could do 1 and 6 a door. I turned all the lights on. Oh man, and I got a failing grade for solving the puzzle. That's too true, man. That feels like real life. All the lights are on and the shutters opened up. Hey, does that mean... Yeah, we gotta do it again. Man, and I thought I was doing so well, and then I just got this F grade? Oh, it's just rude. Okay, so we've got 9 holes. And there's an F above them. I don't know what the F means, but I do know one thing. What's that? This time there's 9 holes. I do feel like we did establish that. Maybe it's an F to pay respects. Oh, you think if we, like, touch it, it's gonna kill us? It's just being really cheeky. So we need to insert 9 pins. Man, that's boring! I hate 9 pins. Why don't you just try it, alright? I'm so bad at hexadecimal. Let me run through this in my head to make sure I understand the premise, which I think I do. So, hexadecimal is 1 through 9, and then A is 10, B is 11, C is 12, D is 13, E is 14, and F is 15. So I think the way this works is it's kind of like Sudoku-esque, where I want every row... I want, like, everything to add up to 15. There's definitely some smart way to do that. And... it's not immediately coming to me. I think I want to put, like... I'm just gonna go with instinct here. I think if I put 6 in the middle and then, like, make 9 on either side of it, there's some way that this lines up the way I want it to. Maybe. Ah, Vasco, but then what do you do with the number 9? With which that clearly doesn't work. That's a great question, hypothetical individual. Thank you for asking. What does one do with the number 9? Hexadecimal gets me every time. Is it 5 in the middle and then 10 on either side? Obviously the middle, like, has some trick to it. I think I'm getting there, maybe. Yeah, this feels like this will work in theory. So hold on. 9 plus 2 is 11, so I need 4 to hit 15, and then I would need 6 over here. That can't be right. To rotate them or something? Do the same thing one does with the drunken sailor early in the morning. But that song only poses the question. No, it doesn't. It actually does answer it repeatedly. I just mainly think of the refrain. I think this concept is right. I thought I'd remember this puzzle more readily, just like looking at it. So what if I did, like... Does it change anything just to have that at a different angle? It probably doesn't, does it? Well, maybe this does. Because then I would do... 6, and then I would need 7 and 3. Is this right? Yeah, I did just have to rotate it a little bit. I feel slightly vindicated by that. There we go. All pins inserted, all lights lit. We did it! We did it, the power's on now! Looks like there's electricity going to the monitor on top now. Alright, let's see if we can activate the device on top. There's so many puzzles to this puzzle. Oh, Alcadius, you're 3 hours into Billiam's 8-hour Lost videos? Oh, I'm so excited for you. How much fun are you having? I assume you're enjoying them if you're 3 hours in. Either that or you're just completely lost track of time. Alright, I got a green button, a red button, and a lever. How many times can we explain whatever rules are about to come up? I think this might help. What is this? Where did he find this? What is that? Where did you find it? I found it when you were messing around with the pinholes. Now, you make it sound like I was doing that for fun, but I needed it to turn on the machine. It looks like the instructions for this thing. According to what it says here, this thing's a remote control for that. That? Yeah, that. What's he pointing? Oh, that machine over there. Apparently it's called the Pushmaster 5000. Are you serious? Whatever. So, what are we supposed to do with the Pushmaster 5000? You see the coffin over there on top of the crates? Yeah. Don't you want to know what the deal is with it? I do! You want to check it out? Yeah? Alright, how do you think we're gonna get there? Well, there's some crates on the right side of the fence that someone piled up like stairs. Maybe if we made a path to the coffin from there. How would we do that? Line up the crates, I guess? Yeah, that sounds about right. I guess this is just another of Zero's puzzles. Yeah. Anyway, let's give it a shot. Oh, looks like the Pushmaster 5000 runs off a battery. So to keep it from using up its energy too fast, it's been programmed so that it'll only start moving once its path's been completely programmed. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. New material has been added to the court record. Katie says, I've never even watched Lost before, I'm so confused. I feel like that might be because you're using it as background, which I don't mean to sound as a criticism, but I really do feel like his coverage of the series gives you the context you need, to be honest. It is also true that Lost is just kind of confusing. That is fair. This is a fair point. This is a fair point. I guess what I mean to say is that his review of the material gives you as much understanding as one could expect to have from the TV series Lost. You're learning a lot, but there's a lot left unanswered. Yes, so Lost. So the TV show Lost. Oh, you're gonna explain the rules again? Yeah, you have to program the whole thing, or it will... Oh, I pulled the lever. Okay. Just keep in mind, there's a limit on the battery. It dies after 50 moves. Oh god, is it that many? I thought this was fewer than that. Alright, we're gonna be here for a minute. Instructions for operation. When a square adjacent to the Pushmaster 5000 is clicked, the Sorry, I do apologize. When a square adjacent to the Pushmaster 5000 is clicked, the Pushmaster 5000 will move to that square. If there is a crate in the way, the Pushmaster 5000 will push up to a single crate. Move the crates appropriately and efficiently and fill the yellow areas. Yeah, it does seem a little more like a puzzle and a little less like a thing that a human being would do when you like have a highlighted area that it has to go to. Like, this isn't just controlling the thing and like shoving the boxes around. Like, it's telling you they're supposed to go over there. Neko says, it's okay, the Pushmaster 5000 wasn't written in bold that time. Yeah, but I mean, it's just the name carries so much weight, right, Castlearg? The Pushmaster 5000. I feel like I just want to title the VOD for this one just the Pushmaster 5000 in all caps. Do you think I'll get away with that? Ah, gee. What is the... I mean, I think I already goofed. I certainly don't have the procedure for the Pushmaster 5000 memorized. These things don't move, right? This is just a test. Yeah, only the boxes move, so only the... Okay. So, there's like a problem in that it's the Pushmaster 5000, and not the Pullmaster 5000. Because the Pushmaster 5000 can only push, so if I, like, push something into a corner, then I can't unpush it? I think that's probably the key here. So I think I have to do something like this, because that could be retrieved. I cannot do that, right? Yeah, I wasted some squares there. I think I'm supposed to... this, and then this, probably? No, that's now unsolvable, right? No, not technically. It's not efficient, but I can do that. And then... I think I want to go up here. I don't think I have enough moves to finish this. This is not the way. Alright, let's try it again. Oh, and I get the whole instructions about the Pushmaster 5000. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've got the right idea here. I don't know if it's preferable to do top or bottom. It might be better to do... Maybe it's better to do bottom because it's more open towards the bottom. Like, there's less room to navigate towards the top because the coffin is stuck there. So then, like, in theory, I would, like, start with this. And then... go all the way around? No, I almost definitely needed to do something with something for... You know what I needed to do? Is push this box down before going up. I don't know if that alone is enough to make a difference, but it might be. And I have to go around this one. And then I would, like... I have to leave that one there, I think? That's probably not right, is it? Because how would I ever push something into this space? Or this one, rather. I think I have to have one of those first two boxes go into that space. Keep trying to click 2 spaces ahead, which, like, just definitely isn't how that works. But if that's true... I think I also, like... This is not enough moves, huh? That's pretty close, though. I'm definitely on the right track here. So I push... and then... I push. And then I push. And then here's where I have to make life decisions. So I could, like, push this block next to me to the right. That's simple enough. But how... Like, I need to be able to push something up into... Like, this spot's the trick. Because it's easy enough to be able to, like, push something over into this, or this, or this. But, like, at some point, I have to push something up into this, because I can never push down into it. Next says, every time you mess up, you get more moves. I don't think that's true. It's given me 51 moves since the start. Or rather, it gives me 50, and then I think if I make the 51st, it errors me. I think the instructions said I get 50. But it has said 51 since at least my second attempt. I wonder what the hint button here does. Does it just show all the boxes lined up the way that the hint button normally works in this game? I feel like this isn't doable. I think it takes too many moves from here to actually finish with this. It seems like this should be a position from which I can finish this, but I don't think it is. Because, like, if I push this across... I can't push it down, so it just, like, lives there on the wall, right? If I push this across, in theory it could be pushed up, but this has to be out of the way. But when I tried doing that last time, that was too many moves, which is, like, fair. I'll see what your hint button does. It's like instructions. That's not... I don't... It's like a small thing. I don't like that they call that hint if that's just like a different resource for the puzzle. It's just like reminder text. It's not actually a hint. A hint would be like, you know, you have to do this box first or something. Yeah, I mean, with this start, this isn't possible, right? Like, I could instead try to push this box down, but this box would never be able to come up. That's something that's slightly different than what I did before, right? But how would I ever do it? It's like still unsolvable, isn't it? Because if I push it over, it's stuck there. If I push this one over, it's stuck there. There's like no way from here to do that one. This is definitely the problem. No. This box has to be pushed somewhere on this pass too, I think. I think it has to go to another position, because if it doesn't, it takes too many spaces to like move it somewhere later. push the bottom right corner box up instead of down. Well, not exactly. I don't think that's exactly true. Because, okay, so like if you push it up, like you can't push it directly over to this square. So like you could like push your way around. But like I don't see how that's like better. Yeah, because like the only way that you're able to like get this in a position where you can push it up is by like putting this in a position where like you have to take like many extra moves to get it there. Like, okay. Yeah, also then, like, I don't really have... Like, I can... Yeah, I don't think this number changes. Like, I might be mistaken, Lex. I think that's the third time I've, like, timed out. And I think it just started at 51. And I think it just doesn't change? I think? I might be wrong. I don't know. I don't typically remember this giving me that much trouble, but it's the sort of thing where you're more aware of how badly you're doing when you're, like, streaming it. I don't remember disliking this puzzle. It's more difficult than I remember. I definitely feel like I understand the trick here, and I don't know why I don't remember what I'm supposed to do about it to fit it in the moves. Miko says, I thought you could do the moves you were doing before, but spiral around with more room in the bottom corner. I mean, I don't know that I know exactly what you mean. So, like, start here, but, like, where's the deviation? Like, at what point do you think I'm doing something differently? Because, like, the instructions mention efficiency, and they're really right. Like, if you had infinite moves, this, like, wouldn't really be difficult at all. But the fact that there's a move limit, even though it seems generous, it's, like, not actually all that generous. So, like, you have to be pretty exacting with moves. So, like, you might be right, but, like, it's also definitely possible to make a slight change and make it possible versus impossible. So, just for visualization's sake here, let's just, like, leave this box and see if there's a world where, like, we figure out what direction this box is supposed to go in to make the rest of our lives seem manageable. So, like, you kind of have to go all the way up and around, because if you push from the bottom, it ends up trapped there, and you'll never get it. So, like, that pretty much has to happen. Oh, maybe that's it. Hold on. And push this over while I'm here. And then... I already do this, and this was wrong. Like, push this over, and then... Yeah, I think I did this, right? Like, this isn't anything. Yeah, this is nothing. This is close, but it's clearly not correct. If I do that... And then, like... For the sake of argument, like... Push that out of the way. And then back around. This probably isn't anything either, right? Yeah. I'm like 5 moves short or something in like most of these things I've come up with. I mean, I don't think you need to go top. Is top somehow better? Doesn't feel like it should be, but like... Like, if I push this... If I go this way and do this... I don't think there's... Like, if I push this down, it's trapped. If I push this over, it's trapped. I would have to, like... Like, if top was correct, I'd have to start by doing something like this. And then I could... Like that? Sort of? And then, like, push this over to here, and push this down to the bottom. And then... Oh, apparently you go top. Whoops. My bad. I made that look really hard. Alright, I'm done putting in the program. What do I do next? Just be quiet and watch. See, it's moving already. I feel like it would seem more like a good job if I didn't spend like 20 minutes on that or whatever that was. It sure felt like 20 minutes. Awesome! The Pushmaster 5000 did just what I told it to, and it lined up all the crates! Great, now we can reach the coffin. What a terrible prize. We just need to climb in those crates over there by the fence. Sure, that sounds like fun. Let's go climb in the crates by the fence. Guys, what could go wrong? I've solved so many puzzles. Clearly, we're gonna find the number 9 door and get the heck out of here, like, right now. Dun 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 dun.
Mummy!
Uh-oh. Is there a thick mummy in there?
Ugh.
Ugh.
Just kidding.
Castleark says, maybe the coffin is full of candy. That's right, it could be filled with coffin candy. That's what that thing is called, right? You know, candy floss? In America, they call it coffin candy because you store it in coffins. Chowder voice. And nothing could go wrong. Oh no, it all went wrong. That feels like life. Great, now Dio's gonna get into a wrestling match with Seven to steal his body. I understood that reference. Do you think this coffin is locked from the inside? Hey, serious question, Alcadius, who I understand to be the expert in all things JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm confused logistically about one thing, which is that doesn't Arena escape the ship in the coffin, but then also they find Dio's body in that same coffin at the bottom of the ocean? Did Dio get on that boat with 2 coffins? I don't feel like that was established.
Really?
Whatever. Just open it.
Whatever, I thought it was a mummy thick joke.
Okay.
A small key and...
Oh, okay, great. I actually feel a lot better that it's a big plot hole that is sort of acknowledged. It's fine. I just thought I was having an episode because I was like, wait, didn't we already resolve the coffin? Like, in theory that could work, but I don't understand how it does. So, yeah. When I look at this coffin, the first thing I see is definitely a small key. Wouldn't you agree?
A gun?
A gun?
Yeah, a revolver.
It looks pretty old.
I wonder if this is a replica.
This thing is... Are these real bullets? Oh, if this is real... Oh.
You're not gonna take it?
Of course not. All something like this is gonna do is cause more trouble. It's a powerful weapon that gives one person a huge advantage.
Ooh, maybe the coffin has a trick bottom with a secret compartment. Yeah, what do you what's like a cool thing you could find in like a secret compartment in a coffin, do you think? I mean, candy for sure. But like, it's gotta be something like candy that like keeps for a while, right? Because like, there's definitely a chance someone's not gonna find it in the bottom of a coffin.
Something like that would be way too dangerous to have around. We're in enough danger already.
Definitely should have taken the gun. I don't know. I see his perspective on this. It's
Yeah,
practically
I
like
suppose
a...
you're right.
It's practically a microcosm of like the gun control argument. Like, does a good guy with a gun stop something bad from happening? Or does the presence of the gun represent an equal or greater threat?
Maybe Zero put this gun here, hoping that something like that might happen.
Coke? But if you just left loose Coca-Cola in the bottom of the coffin, it's gonna seep into the wood and taste terrible. Assuming you can even get any of it out of there, Castleard.
In other words, maybe he put it here to make us fight each other.
In that case, we should most certainly leave it here. I, for one, have no desire to let Zero control me.
I feel like Ace has taken like a really strong anti-Zero stance, which sounds like a ridiculous thing. But what I mean by that is that like none of the other characters are so driven by the need to like not do the thing that Zero tells them to do. He definitely seems most concerned with that. We were thinking like nose candy. Well, we already talked about candy going into the coffin. No, I was joking. Lex, he definitely did not mean Coca-Cola.
Me neither.
Okay, we've got that figured out. But you aren't gonna leave that key in there, are you?
No, the key will create more problems than it solves or something.
Of course not. We'll take that with us.
But what if someone could use the key to kill someone? Sick, a rusty key. Oh wait, I haven't done this in a while. It's a rusty key, maybe I can use it. Maybe, maybe not. Let's just put this key in here and... yes, sounds like that did it! Yay, looks like it's open, Jumpy! I see. This key should open this door. Nay, what are you waiting for? Let's go! Yes, it's opening. You found it again!
A long hallway, huh?
Let's check it out.
Let's all walk in unison. Step, 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 step.
We've seen this elevator before.
We got off the one on the left just a little while ago.
Then we went through the number 6 door, and that took us to the engine room.
Yes, and after that we passed through the cargo room.
And now we're back here.
In other words, we made a loop. We're back where we started.
We needed a card to get to this point.
I don't see a card reader here.
Perhaps we aren't able to activate it from this location.
Why don't you just try pushing the button?
Yeah, you know, that triangular button that doesn't exist? Demolition says, see, the SFX visuals in You Found It add so much to the atmosphere of the game. Feel like it's missing from the AI series. Yeah, that's an interesting take. That's probably true. I mean, like, I think their equivalent is meant to be, like, the sort of mental unlocking noise, and then the sort of flashes of, like, rainbow colors as things, like, unfold as you get, like, deeper and deeper until the end. But, like, I do think that there's, like, I think at the very, like, off the top of my head, it's kind of hard to picture it, but I feel like the very end of a Somnium, like a dream sequence puzzle thing, is usually kind of just, like, that happens, and then there's, like, a flash of white, and then you do the spooky sci-fi noises and going backwards through the mind tunnel. And I guess you could argue it's similar, but, like, I do agree that it feels more mechanical, whereas, like, the You Found It just sort of, like, is the nice affirmation that you did what you set out to do. I don't know that they're really meant to serve the same purpose, but, like, obviously I have a personal bias towards the Zero Escape games.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I pushed it. Was everyone mentally prepared for the door to open? I'm having a
works.
panic attack.
I think so.
Good. Now we can go back if we need to.
What do we do? Should we return to C-Deck?
No, this hallway keeps going. Even if we do end up going back, I think we should see what's down there first.
I agree. Let's go. Looks like it ends here.
Your nails are dirty, but you haven't touched anything. That's just how nails work. Scientists don't understand how that happens. It just does.
Only one door.
There isn't anything else. It's the only way to go.
All right, let's open it.
Is everyone mentally prepared for a door to be opened? Oh,
The 9 door.
you guys! We found it! It's the number 9 door! It's the thing we wanted the whole time! Maybe we'll escape from this ship yet.
Gosh.
Of course it wouldn't be that easy. Vacant. Huh.
Oh, right, it's still a numbered door, huh?
We finally found it.
Jumpy!
Huh?
Look! Behind you!
What? A 9 door. There's another one.
Oh,
I don't need a map to get to Bonetown.
it's true, I don't need a map to get to Bonetown. I might need a map to figure out which of the 2 number 9 doors I need. Hey, they said the title of the game. Oh my god, they did!
Why? It's 9, no matter how you look at it. The red is there too. So
That's a
this
funny
is
way of
real
saying
one?
that. It's 9 no matter how you look at it. Were you expecting it to look like a 6? I mean, if you look at it just the right way, it's kind of a 6.
Why? Why the hell are there 2 doors?
There were always 2 doors. I mean, if you think about it, Zero never actually said there was only 1 door with a 9 on it.
It's accurate. We're gonna get a flashback that doesn't sound like English words, but I believe the exact phrasing is seek a door with the number 9 on it.
It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9.
More or less. Doesn't that mean the credits are supposed to roll? Yeah, we're gonna get the title sequence in a second. And then we'll begin Act 1. This has all been the prologue, Neko. You're really on top of it. You've totally figured the game out.
Assumed that there was only 1. After all, why would there be more than 1?
Oh, man. We fell for it. There are 2 doors. That means that all 9 people who had met at the central staircase could escape. No one would be left behind. Now it makes sense why the bracelets are numbers. 1 through 9. Divided into teams of 4 and 5 people. The digital root of both teams ends up being 9. Take 1278 and 34569 for example. The digital root for both teams would be 9.
We're picturing an egg again. We're doing that super quick math that humans probably wouldn't do.
12349 and 15678. The digital root is still 9. There are a bunch of combinations that work, and they all end up the same way. If one team has the digital root of 9, what does that mean? The answer's simple. From the very beginning, the Nonary game was designed to save all 9 people.
Well, that's an interesting twist, isn't it? This deadly game that's already claimed 2 lives was meant to save everyone? I mean, you can't account for... It's just like real-life game design, right? Like, you just can't account for what the players are gonna do.
It's not effective!
Like, maybe there was just, like, some tonal miscommunication in setting up the game, and this was supposed to be... This was supposed to be, like, a lovely, like, Sunday afternoon jaunt for, like, 9 strangers to get to know each other better. And, like, someone took it, like, way too seriously, and now some people are dead, and now it's just, like, a little awkward. I mean, like, the first person who played checkers probably didn't kill their opponent, you know? But if they did, you might have to think about restructuring the rules.
That's how it was meant to be. Zero didn't lie. He never said there'd be only one 9 door, but anyone who'd found themselves in the game would have assumed that was the case. Fights would have broken out. One team would likely betray or deceive the other. Someone might be hurt. Someone might get killed. But eventually, they'd reach this very same room and realize how pointless all their infighting was. There were 2 doors. There was no need to kill each other. This game was designed for that purpose. This Nonary game. We were all arguing and fighting over doors at the beginning.
Yeah, but like now that some people are dead, isn't it gonna be like kind of difficult to get through these doors?
If there had been one slip up, one tiny mistake that led to more, everything could have been so much worse now.
So, what are we going to do, Junpei?
Nico says, why couldn't people just go through the same door in different groups? I don't recall a rule against that. I don't actually believe there is any rule against that. I think at least once in the game... I mean, at the very least, you know, when the ninth man goes through the number 5 door, one group authenticates, he goes in and then dies, and then a different group authenticates and is able to go through there. The only other time they would test that is like when a second group would go through the number 3 door to check Snake's body, but because 7 is the one who goes with that group through door number 3, he leaves the way open so you don't have to do that.
Huh? Oh, right.
Hey, keep it together, man.
Sorry.
Jeez. So what do we do?
What do you...
We need to think about our next step.
Get everyone here and go through the number 9 door?
3, 5, and 6. That's a digital root of 6.
The 4 of us can't open the number 9 door.
The 4? Wait, don't tell me.
Yep. There's one combination that'll let 3 of us open the 9 door. That's why I'm asking, what now?
What now? No, we gotta go back.
Yep.
I agree. We cannot leave June behind.
Are you sure? I don't mind staying.
That's terrible. I hate that plan.
It's okay. There's no way we'd leave you behind.
Besides, I'd rather drown at the bottom of the ocean than escape with this sausage fest.
I mean, your actual girlfriend is here. Oh, I guess he's saying if he left her behind, is what he means. Okay, so speaking of infighting, I didn't get to fire the really annoying lady at work. They just transferred her. I mean, at least she's gone, right? That feels like the most important part of that interaction.
Maybe I'll get to go to Atlanta.
Are you sure you don't mean Atlantis?
Haven't you seen Futurama? He definitely means the lost city of Atlanta.
Huh? Oh, right.
You guys.
Very well. Best we head back to C-Deck then. We should be able to take the elevator we passed earlier.
See, the lost city of Atlanta is where the Coca-Cola that we're storing in the bottom of the coffin
Perhaps
came
Clover,
from.
7, and Lotus will have returned from door 1.
But even with all 7...
Standing around here isn't going to accomplish anything, don't you agree? Let's find the other 3 first, and then search for another solution.
I guess you're right.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah, I get it, Arcadius. Like, you want the vindication of firing her. But, you know, something hate leads to the dark side, you know?
Come to think of it. What is this room? We were so focused on the doors, we didn't even look around. Huh. It looks like it's set up for some kind of ceremony. But what kind?
I mean, it's like a little chapel, right? I feel like they would have this sort of thing on ships, probably. I mean, like, cruise liner type ships, not like pirate ships.
Huh. A coffin.
That's a great observation, Echo. Jumpy is really good at getting wet. He's not totally clear on the mechanics of it, but he won't run out of breath for like 10 minutes. Like, that's pretty good.
What on earth is a coffin
That'll
doing
help
in a
him
place like
get all
this?
the way to Atlanta.
Hey, Junpei, the hell are you doing? Let's move.
Right, okay. I'll be right there.
Arcadius, when they transferred her, did they transfer this co-worker to a sinking ship? Well, that's ominous. Did no one else hear that? Was that just me? No one? Okay.
Look, it's...
I like to think that there's a Dracula in that coffin that was politely knocking to see if we were decent so they could come out to meet us, but since we didn't respond, they just sort of went back to bed. Here, what? No, that was... Really? Just me?
7 and Lotus.
We've got a problem.
Clover is gone.
That's kind of a problem.
What do you mean, gone?
When?
Why?
You two went into door 1 with Clover, didn't you?
Yeah, we went through the door together.
Oh, you heard it, Lex? Good.
But Clover barely spoke to us.
He started to tell a knock-knock joke. He was just waiting for someone to say who's there, and now he's sad.
She just did her own thing the whole time.
There were 4 rooms on the other side of door 1.
She wouldn't let us into the 4th room.
She just said, I'll take care of this one.
And shut the door.
She must have blocked it with something on the other side.
We waited for a while, but Clover didn't come out.
We called for her, but she didn't answer.
So I kicked down the door and we went into the room.
But...
It was empty.
Clover wasn't there.
There was a door on the other wall.
And it was open.
We figure she opened the door and left by herself.
We ran after her, of course, but
Well, obviously we didn't find her. You figured that much out.
Clover's gone.
When did this happen?
We got here just before you.
You certainly have excellent timing.
So you haven't searched anywhere other than near the staircase?
No, we haven't.
Very well then. We'd best separate and look for Clover. We haven't much time left. Let's begin.
Yeah. She's not here.
No, she isn't.
There's no sign of her. Let's go.
Drama music.
All right. I'm thinking we should probably split up. I'll head back to the stairs and take the elevator down to E deck.
Be careful not to get wet down
June,
there.
you can take the stairs up to B deck.
They're a married couple now. Seven and the naked lady kept finishing each other's sentences. I mean, do you not sense the tension between them that could be cut with a dull knife?
All right, that sounds good. But,
What?
could you stop calling me by that code name when we're alone?
Huh? Sure, right.
Call me
I'll do
Kissy
that.
Face. I don't know why, like, such a stupid nickname is really funny to me. Call me by my pet name. Call me Kissy Face.
Jumpy.
No, it's nothing.
All right, I'm going then.
I forgot about this song. I'm enjoying this too much.
Yeah, be careful, Kane.
You be careful too, Jumpy.
Yeah, got it. Take care.
And then they don't kiss for some reason. Tragedy always strikes when one least expects it. She calls him Jumpy because it sounds a little bit like Junpei. And I think they imply that it, like, resonated with his personality when he was younger. Tragedy always strikes when one least expects it, but to wait for a man to stand before striking him down seems almost crueler than dealing the fatal blow while he lies on the ground. A light in a dark place, June's smile had given him hope, both for escape and possibly for something else. It was that hope that raised his spirits just enough that they might soon be fully dashed. His nickname is Pushmaster 5000. Yeah, I believe that's correct. I believe that their pet names for each other are Pushmaster 5000 and Kissy Face. And they must both be pronounced that way and make everyone around them like twice as uncomfortable as they would otherwise be. Junpei opened the elevator door, and there she was. A woman sat, slouched against the wall. Lotus! Junpei felt his blood turn to ice. Her body was limp, and her skin smooth and pale as always. But, like, a little bit more dead and blood-cut. Junpei felt his chest constrict. He couldn't breathe, and his legs began to shake. A slow, cold drop of sweat trickled down his back. Felt a somersault. Junpei's mind went blank, all his thoughts replaced with endless, hissing white. Driven by little more than instinct, he began to walk towards Lotus. Slowly. Each slow movement of his stiff limbs brought him closer to her corpse. Finally, he stood next to her. Robotically, he bent down and put his hand against her neck. There was no pulse, no rise and fall of breathing. She was slightly warm. Something, somewhere in Junpei's shaken mind told him that meant she had been killed recently. Yes, Junpei thought, his mind slowly returning. She had been killed. Someone had killed her. There was a deep cut in the left side of her chest. Blood still oozed from it, although clearly her heart had stopped beating some time ago. The weapon had been a knife, then? Perhaps she had been stabbed in the heart once. She would have died immediately. He took little comfort from knowing she must have suffered very little. Only then did Junpei notice. Lotus's bracelet was gone.
Lastly, let us discuss how to remove the bracelets. There are only 2 ways to do so. 1. You escape from this ship. 2. Lord Hartley, which is 0. In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confines of the ship, or the backside of the mirror's heartbeat has fallen to 0, it will shut down automatically.
Was that why the killer had ended Lotus's life? So that they might have the number 8 bracelet? If that was true, then the killer was whoever wanted the number 8 bracelet. Or, perhaps more accurately, the person who would gain the most by obtaining the bracelet number 8. Who is that? Who would benefit most from the number 8 bracelet? The thought had only just entered Junpei's mind when he heard a noise. A sound like a sharp knife cutting through wet meat. It struck him as strange that the noise came from inside his own body. A moment later, the pain hit him. It wasn't merely pain, there was heat. Extreme heat as well. He felt as though molten iron had been splashed against the side of his body. Finally, his brain made the connection. He had been stabbed. Finally, his brain... Sorry, I looked at chat and then forgot that I lost my place. He had been stabbed, but where? His body was quickly going numb. He couldn't tell where the knife had met his flesh. Given the circumstances, however, he had most likely been stabbed in the back. Whoever had killed Lotus had now done the same to Junpei as well. His voice was little more than a weak groan. With what little strength he had left, Junpei turned his body, trying to catch a glimpse of his attacker. That's a good noise. But as he did, the knife dug itself deeper, twisting viciously. He collapsed to the floor, a puppet with its strings cut. His arms and legs lay where they fell, oddly twisted and awkwardly positioned. Junpei's body was entirely numb. He could feel the blood leaking out of him, but nothing would move. Nothing save his eyes. As he lay on the floor, his life ebbing away, Junpei finally saw his attacker. 2 tiny images of the killer reflected in his eyes. With that recognition came nothing. He felt no emotions, not anger, not sadness, not regret. The paralysis that had claimed his body had reached his mind. The killer glanced down at his body. Wow, the rudest thing the killer did was not alert us to the fact that they were going to open that door. Then, without a word, climbed into the elevator and was gone. His eyesight began to fade. The world grew blurry and began to dissolve into an empty white fog. The fog crept into the edges of his mind and worked inexorably inward. Soon, it swallowed up the last that remained of Junpei's mind, and his consciousness left him. There was nothing more. Into utter emptiness he fell. Into 0. Whatever Junpei had been was gone. Bad end. I don't know, man. By comparison to some ends to visual novels, it's a pretty interesting end. We definitely dead, though. Yeah, please press F to pay respects in chat. Or, like, you know, use Date Scream or whatever. I got the achievement cut and run. Could have done without the graphic description of him dying. But that's what makes it a super horror game. I mean, I get it.
Darn.
I do. Oh, darn is very appropriate as well. I do understand your position there, Alcadius. Maybe it's because I react differently to things that are like horror themed than other people, but like I always found that kind of like mystifying. Just like the really vivid descriptions of the deaths in this game are just like really interesting in the way that they like really paint a picture of it. Like it's one thing to just be like, oh no, like a dead body, which, you know, would be easy enough to do. But like, because this game is like truly a visual novel, the depictions of both like the situations where Junpei has died and also when he has found other characters dead, I think are all like really like weirdly poetic. I don't know. It's not like a main draw of the game by any means, but it's something I have always liked about it. I mean, the thing that really hooked me on this game, and originally, again, the first time I saw it was watching someone do a Let's Play of this game because I'd never heard of it, and I found out about it like when I was still living on a pretty tight budget, like late in college years. But like when I was watching it, like that just got me so much because it was just like I was expecting it to be like, and everyone worked together and got out of the deadly puzzle and it wasn't so bad. And like, it's like, oh crap, that definitely did not happen. That's not the thing that happened, and that's not what I expected to happen. So let's save here, which is the one I like create at the start of the stream. So we got knife ending. And now we've reached a point where we have the keys that appear. I was reading something about this when I was trying to like learn how the flowchart worked. And I hadn't seen it yet, so I figured you would need a specific ending to get to it. But we'll have to puzzle that out later. I think that ending is a good place to end the stream for tonight. No, pardon me. Now it's Big Vasco. Pushmaster 5000. Who's gonna let the coffin vampire out? I mean, hopefully someone will. But I don't know. It seemed like no one else noticed. You like the descriptive deaths too? Yeah, I mean, like, it's just... I mean, part of it is, like, on the one hand, like, I can see someone feeling like it's kind of gruesome. But in a way, I feel like the intensity of the description actually shows, like, a great amount of care. That it treats the characters like humans and not just disposable characters. Yeah, exactly. You feel the impact of death in text, which is, like, it's hard to do. And I think that the way this game does it is really impressive and really interesting. And it's definitely one of the things that I think sets this game apart from similar games as much as they exist. But yeah, it took us long enough, but we got our second ending. I think from this point onward, we should start progressing through endings more quickly, I think. We'll have to sort out exactly what that looks like next Friday, when we stream this game again at 6 p.m. Pacific. As a reminder to those who are sometimes viewers or occasional guests of the stream, we started playing a new point-and-click adventure game last Saturday, The Dark Side Detective, which has been a lot of fun so far, and we'll be continuing that tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific if you're around or interested in it. It's been a lot of fun. I recommend it. But we'll be playing that tomorrow, and we'll pick back up with 999 next week. But for now, there's one final order of business to complete before we can complete the stream itself, and that is to locate the secret Squirtle. Somewhere on this couch behind me I've hidden a secret Squirtle. Keep in mind that if you can see a Squirtle like this chap, that one's not a secret. I know he's got a little something on his face, but he's right there. No, it's more about the morbidity of it. I mean, that's fair. That sort of thing has never bothered me, which says stuff about me. I guess this plus it shows how hard Junpei tried to see his attacker and his desperation and helplessness. Yeah, I mean, it really paints the picture of those like, I know I make a lot of comparisons to the Somnium Files. I think it's a closer comparison than, you know, like World's End Club, and it's the other, like, major Uchikoshi, like, property I'm familiar with. But, like, compare it to, like, some of those, like, really frustrating endings in the Somnium Files games where it's like, this isn't, like, the story doesn't even end here. You just, like, had one thing happen and, like, didn't want to write the rest of the story, and so you decided it's an ending. Like, here it's like, no, it is an ending. It is very clear it is an ending in every possible way. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for joining me, Castlearg. I appreciate every one of you being here, and thank you for the hype train and the bits, everyone, for being so generous. Much appreciated. Let's gather some guesses. You have a moment still to guess where you think the Squirtle might be, because, of course, if you locate a secret Squirtle, that's a sign of good luck for you in the week to come. So what do we got here? Secret Squirtle under Eeyore. Secret Squirtle under Hollow Knight or under Ninja Turtle. Gotcha, gotcha. Let's go take a look and see if we can find a Squirtle, shall we? So, Neko was the first to guess. We got Secret Squirtle under Ninja Turtle. Well, then we got hiding down there. Something's gonna fall over. It's just destiny. Ninja Turtle was concealing our Halloween Eevee friend, dressed like a Drifblim pirate. ER. See a couple guesses under Hollow Knight. Hiding under Hollow Knight and behind our costumed cat friend is our small Winnie the Pooh. Unfortunately not a Squirtle, but a cute little guy. And other guess I saw was Eeyore, right? Yes, under Eeyore. Hiding under Eeyore and behind our Clawsome friend Carlos was a pair of friends propping him up. A Pokeball, and also Charlotte Brontosaurus, our tiny dino friend. Unfortunately, not a Squirtle. It's at this moment that I can reveal to you the location of the secret Squirtle, which is under our extremely large lobster friend, who has been wearing an extremely small pirate. Hiding back there was our secret Squirtle. Oh, bother indeed, Castleard. Can I, hang on. There we go.
Oh,
it's sort of on straight. Ah, darn. That's a good attitude to have, Neko, I think. Consider it a win when an incorrect guess still reveals one of your favorites. I'm glad that you have favorite friends on the couch. I try to keep stuff in rotation in case there's any fans. Was the pirate hat my favorite out of what you made? In the sense that I can apply it to all of my various stuffed animal friends, I appreciate it a great deal. I love the Drifloons as well. They're just it's been hard to get them to like stay visible on the couch is the only problem. It's not that I don't also love them. It's just tricky. I think you can sort of see them. I put them over there by Naomi, but I'm covering more than I was thinking I was. So you can't really see them unless I do that. But I do greatly appreciate the small hat. It goes with everything. So no one found the Squirtle this time, unless maybe you did at home, YouTube viewer. That's right, I've broken the fourth wall and I'm talking directly to you, Charles. Anyway, thanks to everybody for watching, both here and in the future. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being you, and I hope to see you again soon. As I said, we'll play some more 999 next Friday. It's definitely the stakes are raising, man. You're seeing the horror part of this game for sure now. And tomorrow, if you're free, we'll be playing some The Dark Side Detective. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be a lot of bad voice acting again, but I was having fun. I hope you were too. Anyway, that'll do it for this stream. So have a great time until I see you again, and I hope it's soon. Take care, everybody.